All Kawasaki, CF Moto, and Yamaha watercraft. All on-road and off-road motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, apparel, accessories, parts, and service, all under one roof. Central New York's biggest all-season toy store.
Hi, this is Dr. Eric Jovanon with Dental Arts. Our busy dental practice is currently looking to fill several full-time positions in our Utica office. We're seeking dedicated, experienced dental assistants to join our fun, hardworking team. We offer a competitive benefits package and the opportunity to elevate your career. Compensation is experience-based, but paid training is available. If you are reliable and enjoy working with people, we'd love to talk to you. We're seeking dedicated dental assistants to join our fun, hardworking team. Apply today on Facebook or at dentalarts.org. That's dentalarts.org. Dental Arts, we are looking for your help to create masterpieces, one smile at a time.
Now through 9 p.m. Thursday, stock up for Thanksgiving and save big during the case sale at Bremer's Wine and Liquor. Mix and match your own case of wine and save an unbelievable 20%. That's right. Choose any wine, create your perfect case, and get a 20% discount. Save on any 12 750 milliliter bottles of wine. Save on any 6 1.5 liter bottles of wine. If you drink it, if you love it, you can save 20% on it now during Bremer's case sale. Plus, you can save throughout the store with everyday low pricing on our boxed wine. And we've made shopping easy and convenient. Place your order online at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Request delivery and we'll bring your order right to your home. Or choose in-store pickup, and when you get to Bremer's, we'll bring your order right out to your car. If you love it, we've got it. Make your own case and save 20%. But it all ends at 9 p.m. Thursday. Stop in and save at Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
I'm William Mattar. Big truck crashes often result in serious injuries or death. After a big truck crash, call William Mattar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. After a serious truck crash, call us right away so our immediate response team can preserve evidence while you focus on your family. Truck crash? Call William Mattar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen?
Keeler's always in the know.
It makes me want to call him
And tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, and good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday, and Richard says, with this lake effect snow, if it does dip down to the south just a little bit, we're gonna get hammered. You want to hear what he says? And when they're talking about lake effect snow, this lake effect thing, Manaski, when they do the Farmer's Almanac prediction of what the weather's going to be like and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that what we're looking at right now is what we're going to have a lot of this year. A lot of borderline wet, the lakes will be warmer. We'll get more of that lake effect snow. We could get a lot of snow this year. Anyway, again, that's just a hunch. I have no idea. However, Richard doesn't hunch. This morning he's saying now through Saturday night, lake effect snow will drop several feet of snow just north of Rome. And we've seen that, especially in the Tug Hill area. They're talking about feet, not inches.
Oh my goodness.
If it drops south, watch out here. Buffalo is expecting 3 to 6 feet of snow in banned areas. The Bills in trouble this weekend, by the way, and might move a game to Detroit. They may end up moving the game to Detroit. So it's Thanksgiving. My son's going to be coming home from Denver. They were planning to go through Buffalo. And now they're changing their route because they're worried about the feet of snow, not inches. And for us, very little of that to worry about unless you're in Rome or Camden or Adirondack, where today those 3 school districts have a 2-hour delay. Rome, Adirondack, and Camden on a 2-hour delay today because of the beautiful weather that is out there. And Jeff, you nailed it. I mean, this is like a switch went off.
It's ridiculous.
It's the winter switch. Just went off. And
we're not even at Thanksgiving yet. I mean, we were so happy that it was so warm leading up to Thanksgiving, Halloween and after Halloween. And now we're not even at Thanksgiving. And Richard's predicting feet of snow.
Well, and we've had our Halloween stuff, our Halloween snow. We've had it where the snow begins in October and doesn't go away until May. But it just seemed like we were on a trend where it was so, we had a record-breaking November day a few weeks ago. We almost hit 80 degrees a few weeks ago, and here we are.
So if this is the deal, basically, you talked about the warm weather in the lakes. If it's going to be warm like this, I'd rather have it be a chilly fall and not deal with all the snow than have a warm first half of fall and then have to be shoveling for 4 months.
Rob says, so it's Rob versus Richard this morning. Rob says, no, the snow band will stay to the north. It will stay to the north. All will be good for us. So, Rob, I hope you're right. I really do.
Same.
Canole has conceded, and Brandon Williams is officially our congressperson. Well, for the most part. Unofficially official.
Yeah, unofficially official. It's like it's not official until it officially happens.
And we had a great conversation with him yesterday. I think he's going to be a very thoughtful representative for the 22nd Congressional District. And you know what? I got to tell you, he's got to move to the area. We should be lobbying right now for him because all this talk is we're going to have a congressperson for the first time who is not living here in Oneida County, and for the first time in how many years? But I got to tell you, he has to move up here. He's going to move into the district. Where does he end up moving? Wouldn't it be something if he were to move to Oneida County or even to Madison County and not to Onondaga County? So I hope we're lobbying him to say, hey, come live here. I think that would be a pretty cool thing. Talking about and I'm going to make an action on this today because I was slipping and sliding yesterday to get in. There's a story out there about winter tires in the USA Today. And it says how much of an amazing difference winter tires can make because we all kind of have those all-season radials, right? You don't have to go and have them changed in the fall and the spring. They'll work in the snow, they'll work in the rain, but they're not as good as snow tires. And the story talks about how much snow tires will grip on the road in the wintertime, but many people don't take advantage of them. Not a bad idea to think about that. Snow tires, if it's going to end up being a really snowy winter. We mentioned that Canole has conceded. Yes. Last night we went. There was a show in Utica for Broadway Utica. I believe that continues tonight. It was Elf last night at the Stanley. Davey, did you see any of that?
No. How was it?
It was pretty good.
I liked the movie with Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell was not there last night, just for the record.
No,
he didn't make it. I thought he was coming, didn't make it. But This is a different show because this is the type of Broadway show where kids are all over the place. Yeah. You know, my wife being a teacher, she's used to it. But for me, it's a little bit different having a kid behind you in the seat behind you, kicking the seat. It was fun. It was good. I'm like, as long as the kids, hey, he was kicking to the beat of the songs, which helps a little bit, doesn't it? Maybe not. They have now come out with a ranking of school districts. And I believe maybe this might be exclusive to Syracuse.com that actually did this. But they've ranked school districts based on, this is school districts in New York State based on their test scores. So if you look at the high, so this is ELA scores. They're ranking when it comes to math, etc. And as I look down the list, in terms of upstate New York, outside Long Island, ranking number 25 is Fayetteville Manlius. I'll get the complete list, but there are some local schools on that list, all Oneida County schools, and really everybody's on the list because they rank it from top to bottom. But in the top of the list, you have some schools that did really well up here. But in terms of upstate, Fayetteville Manlius leads the way.
Interesting. You know, I found it interesting, the story we had in the news yesterday about the teachers and regents exams, that they feel like the test scores, the regents exam should not be required to graduate, and that they said that a lot of students are struggling with the traditional take a written test, and they're saying that like other options, like I think PowerPoint, they said, might be a better way for some students to test. I just found it really interesting that the teachers were the ones kind of advocating for it.
Story that we broke here yesterday, and we'll speak with board president Joe Habaika later on this morning. But we had in studio Brian Nolan, who is the superintendent of schools, the acting superintendent of schools at the Utica City School District. And it was announced that they're going to, were you shocked by this news? They're going to scrap the Evolve weapons detector system.
I was surprised just because of how pricey it is. But I guess if it doesn't work and you can get money for it.
$3.7 million. Ultimately, there's a 90% reimbursement. So the school district, the taxpayers in Utica, will be about $400,000 behind on this purchase. But I think the part where it just seems like the due diligence wasn't done on this, and it makes sense. So what would this weapon system be used for? So if you're in a big arena and you have an arena with 50,000 people, let's say it's the Carrier Dome or the JMA Wireless, whatever it is. And having someone sneak a gun in would be horrific.
Right.
Because you could get to a high spot and start just popping off people and cause mass casualties. Whereas if you got a knife in, obviously that's a little bit different, right? You're not going to be able to stab multiple people for the most part before somebody would get to you and get you down. And that's kind of like a school setting. In a school, you don't want a single weapon in that school district, in that school building. So it shows you where this weapons detection system, which does not necessarily detect knives, doesn't work for a school setting. Now, it may work in combination with another metal detector, searching bags and that sort of thing, but that would just delay the whole process. So now they're saying they're going to go back to a more traditional metal detector, searching bags, something like you might see on an airplane.
I just can't believe that for a school they have to invest that much money.
That is a completely different story on its own, right? The fact that we need that type of security in our schools, that is a whole story on its own.
And then the second prong of that is obviously there was due diligence skipped. If they spent almost $4 million, and even though the company says we don't really detect knives, they thought it detected knives.
According to the report that was done by Brian Nolan, and he talked about this yesterday, that the school district was informed before they purchased it was informed that it did not detect knives and other smaller weapons. And when we say the school district, it would have been Bruce Karam and some other administrators. But it was then presented by Bruce Karam to the Board of Education that it detected all weapons, including knives, and the board voted to purchase it. So really what we learned from Brian Nolan yesterday is it's being alleged that Bruce Karam, who is on administrative leave right now, paid administrative leave, that he misled the Board of Education to make that purchase. Now, why would you can look at this in a couple, as superintendent, would it be so important for you to make this purchase when you knew it didn't handle knives? Is it he's going to be the hero of the district? I don't understand what your motivation would be to mislead the Board of Education. That, to me, is a question that should be asked.
Is it negligence or?
Well, that's the question that should be asked, I think. Tiny J Powers, oh boy, I got to tell you, we've had our sales on turkeys, but for the most part, it's going to cost more money this year to have your Thanksgiving feast. Good morning, Tanya.
Good morning. Yes, I'm here with wonderful news.
Yeah, we love your wonderful news.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make them give me a happy topic soon. But one of the things that we're going to be doing, if we haven't already been doing it, is probably going to the grocery store with that list of things you got to get for your Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
Check those off. A lot of folks will be in the grocery stores this weekend doing exactly that. There is going to be, I don't think it's a shock to anybody who's bought groceries. It'll probably be more expensive this year. Matter of fact, it will be more expensive to get Thanksgiving stuff this year. The government estimates that food prices are going to be up about 9.5% to 10.5% this year. Usually they're around 2% is what the increase is. So you've got lower production, you got higher costs for labor, transportation, stuff. Disease, rough weather, the war in Ukraine, these are not helping either. The wholesale turkey prices are at a record high. It has been a difficult year for turkey flocks in the U.S. There's been a deadly strain of avian flu that actually was reported back in February from a turkey farm in Indiana. That has wiped out about 49 million turkeys and other poultry in 46 states this year. That's according to the CDC. As a result, some estimates put the U.S. turkey supply per capita at the lowest level since 1986.
Wow.
Now, some companies have put in higher security measures and things like that for, detecting things like avian flu. Butterball has said that the flu had only impacted about 1% of their production because of some security measures they put in place in 2015 when they had a bout of avian flu then. So, they said they're not as affected as other companies as far as the production went.
Right.
If you're thinking, hey, I'm going to just have ham instead, well, the ham prices are up. Egg prices, of course, avian flu also, if you're, talking about poultry in general, that's going to push egg prices up. Those are up. They probably would have been higher even without the avian flu because you've got more that you're paying for corn and soybean to feed chickens with. Ukraine is a major exporter of corn. Normally, that is, a supply loss that has
there's almost no infrastructure
globally.
No infrastructure left over there.
Yeah, so you've got, that. You've got the side dishes that are up. The 5-pound bag of russet potatoes is averaging about $3.26 for the second week of November. That's about 45% higher than it was a year ago. Just different things are going to cost you more. So be prepared if you're going, like I said, get your shopping list together and you're going to go get your stuff this weekend.
I got to say, there's one thing that's kind of cool about living upstate, Tanya, is my parents, I grew up in the country. And my mother and father were like, one day, what we ought to do is let's just get some chickens. We'll get a few chickens. And they have a little coop in their backyard. And all of a sudden this year, these chickens have taken off. They're getting like 36 eggs a day. It's unbelievable. Like I'm over. Did you try any of the eggs I gave you, Jeff?
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hard to hard boil. It's not because a fresh egg is tougher to peel. But Tanya, I'm telling you, if you need eggs, let me know. I'll bring them down. Hey,
come on down with some eggs now.
I have a surplus of eggs.
I've been making my recipes, my list of everything. I was like, okay, we gotta get the eggs to stuff. We gotta get this. We gotta get that. So yeah, I can use a few.
Well, there you go. It's the beauty. It's the one beauty. Well, there are several of living upstate. So interesting stuff. So we'll be paying more for Thanksgiving. What's new, Tanya? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day. I do have to say, I didn't want to bring this up in the middle of Tanya's story, but I'm not sure we're suffering from the big uptick in cost for turkey.
Really?
I don't think we are. Do you know Hannaford has a sale that started this past weekend, and I think it's still going on right now, where their price on, I don't know, all I know is their price on turkeys is low enough where there's a sign at the cash register that says, limit 2. Right, Davey? You've seen it.
Yeah, it's 47 cents for I don't know what brand it is, but I saw it yesterday.
For a pound of turkey.
Yeah.
And per pound, 47 cents per pound. So I believe that's the same price that we were paying previously. It's a normal price. So if there's such a shortage of turkey, how are they able to do that sale? I wonder.
So
these are turkeys made in China. That's why these are cheap turkeys, low labor. I don't know. I don't know where they're coming from, but that price is similar, if not the same, as what we would have paid last year or the year before for turkeys.
I'm seeing here that the average price per pound this year is $1.81, up 20% from last year.
$1.81 a pound.
But now, see,
and Hannaford has them right now for 45 cents a pound.
Yeah, but that's not. What was I going to say?
You may be looking at
cheaper than last year. Then, if $1.81 is a 20% increase,
right?
Well, half of that is 90 cents.
Wherever their average price, I guess, of all I'm saying is in our area, I don't think, as long as you find the right deal, I don't think we're going to be paying more for turkeys. At the very least, at this, and I think all the other stores are kind of following suit. We have a turkey war, like you have a gas war. It's a turkey war.
$1.45 a pound or 45 cents a pound?
45 cents.
I mean, that's unheard of.
You don't believe us.
No, I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Davey, vouch for me, please.
Hang on.
He is right, Jeff.
I'm right.
Hannaford's got a sign outside their door as soon as you walk in.
Yeah.
Turkey, and then they got another one.
Could you say that again, Davey? Just the part where he is right.
He is right.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a big fan of that. Okay, so it says the retail price for whole frozen turkeys in the United States was how much in 2019?
I have no idea. I remember
$1.39.
$1.39. Yes.
So they've got some special going on. That's not.
Yeah.
We weren't paying 45 cents last year or 10 years ago.
Well, I think you were. It depends. You may
45 cents a pound.
But you may be looking at. You have to look at this carefully because sometimes they'll give you the where you go and get a live turkey and it's butchered and you'll pay a premium price for something like that. And the other thing is, remember, New York City prices, you're going to pay much more in New York City. And even the larger cities in upstate, you're going to pay more there. So it might be possible that that's why the average is so much higher. But all I'm telling you is where it is now. Get your turkey at Hannaford. Save your money.
That's why they're limiting it to 2. My gosh, they'd be literally flying off the shelf. So
I brought like everybody, my son, my nephew, we were all buying turkeys. We lined up. We came out with 30 turkeys. Oh, what a joy.
Everybody had a frozen turkey on their lap for the ride home.
Unfortunately, we have no place to freeze them. We're out of room in our freezers, so if you have freezer space, let us know.
A story from Yahoo that I have in front of me from last Friday says in 2021, this is U.S. nationwide, the average price for fresh turkey was $1.07 a pound. For a frozen turkey, it was $1.06 per pound. This year, it's $1.14 for fresh and $1.11 for
wow,
frozen.
not that much difference, huh? Okay.
That's what this says.
That's
a 6.5% increase, believe it or not. No, that's not.
Well, all I can say is get your deal while it lasts, because once it's gone, you'll be paying more, I imagine. The price will end up going up. A couple of comments here this morning. I want you to bring – there's a comment from John in Bridgewater that I want you to bring up. I want to respond to John. Mike this morning says, For the Proctor issue, I think they should put up signs at every door at the school saying no guns or knives. That should take care of the problem, right? This is a no gun, no knife zone.
Doesn't that usually solve it?
I believe it solves all problems. And also, Mike says perhaps Claudia can Airbnb her house to Williams as she has to move as well. I say has to, but they usually like to live in their district. They aren't required to, however. What do you have there, Jeff Manaski?
On John Bridgewater?
Yeah, I just want to respond to John.
Okay, so he says waste of taxpayer money and possible lawsuit, but that was, I think, in regard to the security system. You're talking about the taking different opinions?
Right. I had said that I'm not arguing. When somebody maybe, for instance, has a differing opinion, I understand. I know who I am. I get it. I'm a hardhead. I understand that. But that's why I do what I do. One of the requirements was being a hardhead. I believe when they hired me, we're looking for a creative hardhead. I answered the ad immediately when I saw that because I knew that was me. But it's the part where he says that I yelled at a guy the other day because he was pro-Trump. And that is not true.
Well, he doesn't say that he was. He doesn't say because he was pro-Trump. But here's what it says. Really, Bill, how about last week when you went off on a caller because he had a different opinion than you? Let's go Trump.
That is not true. I guess it is true. I guess it is true, John. But you're absolutely wrong there. It isn't true.
Wait. You said it was true, and then you said it wasn't true.
I know I did, because I like John, and I don't want to, but I'm telling you what he's saying is not true. What happened is the guy yelled at me and said, "You know what? I'm sick of you. We need another radio show. I'm not listening anymore." Click.
Right.
So my reaction was, "All right, well, you're stupid." I don't know how I reacted, but it was something like that. John, it had nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is the problem with liberals and conservatives today. And I'm just going to lay it out there. Everything you say is taken that it's about Trump. And I got to say, it's not. So, for instance, the turkey prices are up. It'll cost you more for a turkey. Trump's fault. It'll cost you more for a turkey. Biden's fault. Well, chances are it's neither one of their faults. But if you're a liberal, you're blaming Trump. If you're a conservative, you're blaming Biden. I like to tell the truth down the middle, not the skewed right story or the skewed left story. I prefer, why is this really happening? And that some people just can't handle. If you're not all in on Trump, then you must be the enemy. And if you're not all in against Trump, then you must be the enemy. That's the problem that we have to work on. John in Bridgewater. John, I love you, man. I'm just telling you, you are ill-advised when you feel that when you describe what happened the other day as that.
So I just want you to know that you were completely wrong on your 45 cents a pound turkey story.
I was?
You're completely wrong.
Okay.
It's actually 47 cents a pound.
It's 47? All right. Davey, come on, man.
It's Shady Brook frozen whole turkey. As a matter of fact, thank you to our listeners. Brian sent me the brand name.
Isn't that amazing, though?
Yes. It says you save $1.02 per pound.
It is a little shady, though. I mean, I'm not sure I'd trust the turkeys. It is coming from Shady Brook.
Boy, that's unbelievable. So it says you save $1.02 per pound, so that would be $1.49 per pound, which is higher than all the averages that I just talked about. But thanks to Brian and thanks to, geez, I don't know who I missed the name here. Somebody just sent me the picture.
These are fellow budgeteers. They're out there saving money, Jeff. They're out there saving some dough this morning.
Well, and Brian in Little Falls says it's 69 cents a pound at Price Chopper
in Little
frozen.
Falls. I got to tell you, even that's a pretty good price, right? 69 cents per pound. Where these numbers are coming from nationwide, all I'm saying is we're not really feeling it up here.
Rudy in Lowville says had sent me the ad from Hannaford. Thank you, Rudy.
Thank you, Rudy. And listen, I mean, so it's not just down here. It's way up north in Lowville as well. Ryan Schmel standing by on the line right now. Everyone reacting to Trump's news. There's a lot of reaction out there. I'm really surprised, Ryan, by the negative reaction coming from conservative pundits over the course of the last 28, 36, 24 hours or whatever it was. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, guys. And I'd like to say, first of all, that I am a big store brand shopper because I like saving money, too.
Hey,
but
that's the way
like
to
you
go.
just said,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like you just said, what a difference, 2 years makes. When President Trump announced in 2020 that he was running for re-election, you really had this, you still had some of the detractors dating back to 2016, but you still had a fairly, united front on the Republican Party side.
Yeah.
But this time around, it's very much different. Yes, there are a lot of skeptics about his candidacy, especially from pundits, but also within members of the party who are kind of, open to different candidates now.
It does seem like there is a divide for the first time, and I am really shocked by the number of people that have jumped ship on a Trump run. That really surprises me.
Yeah, he still does have some of his supporters. Elise Stefanik has already announced her endorsement for him. She actually, I think, announced the endorsement even before he officially announced. But you do still have, Mike Pence, former Vice President Mike Pence has been making the rounds. He was on our network yesterday talking about his book, but has also kind of said that he would like to see the party go in a different direction, and he thinks that there will be better candidates in 2024. Now, obviously, he very well could be one of those candidates running, so we have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
But, yes, you're seeing even senators like Ted Cruz and John Cornyn kind of putting skepticism out there about his run, saying if they're expecting a crowded field here. And obviously, then you have, I think one that's interesting is Cynthia Loomis, the senator from Wyoming, saying recently that, I don't think that's the right question when asked about Trump. She's saying, I think the question is who the current leader of the Republican Party is, and that's Ron DeSantis. So for a lot of the folks who kind of wanted the party to move off of Trump, well, it looks like they may have their guy who's got a good chance of beating Trump in the primary and also could be a popular favorite in the general, too.
I got to say, one thing we took some calls yesterday, Ryan, that is just regular people, and they're not wavering on their support for Donald Trump. We spoke with one guy up here who said, I don't buy it. I don't buy the pundits. The fact that Fox News is now turning on Donald Trump doesn't change my opinion at all. So it is going to be very interesting to see how the general public feels with this, because ultimately, and I know it's a long way down the road, the key to all of this is you have to be able to win a Republican primary. And that is a big task going against Trump.
Yes, no, and while, yes, like you said, there has been support that is wavering from Trump, you cannot deny that he still has a very strong brand and a very loyal base in certain sections. Is it as loyal as it may have been before the midterms or before the presidential election of 2020? Maybe not, but he still does have that brand, and that's still going to make him tough to beat for any candidate who decides to run against him. He still has the name recognition and the fact that he was president for 4 years. So he still has a lot of those things going for him, and that's going to still make him tough no matter how much support these other candidates get.
I mean, imagine if I one day decided I wasn't a Buffalo Bills fan. All the hats, all the shirts, all the jackets and the flags I'd have to get rid of. I mean, that's what we're asking for Trump fans to do here. And I just don't see it. It's certainly not going to happen with the Buffalo Bills, even when they lose a game they should have won like last week. Very interesting stuff, Ryan. But I equate it to football because you know how people are with their football. I mean, we are enthused. We are dedicated. And unlike any other politician, Trump has that loyalty.
Oh, no, and I've covered several Trump rallies in my career ever since he kind of became a figure in politics. Actually, I believe that when I started in journalism, that was right after he hit the campaign trail for his first run for president. So I can tell you, yes, when you go to these Trump rallies, it's unlike any other political rally you ever go to. There is merchandise. There is fanfare of people just screaming when you just by putting the camera on him. It does have a little bit of that sport event feel that you don't really get at many other political events. So Donald Trump has brought something different to the world of politics that we really haven't seen before.
Yeah, there aren't many political rallies where people come early to tailgate before the party. But this
camping out and everything like that. Yeah,
it's crazy. So that's loyalty right there. All right, Ryan, good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Hey, absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great day. Ryan Schmelz with Fox News. We'll break quickly and come back. You want to pipe in on it. Feel free. 6:51. A little sloppy. We have some school delays here this morning. We have a 2-hour delay at Camden, a 2-hour delay at Adirondack, and a 2-hour delay at Rome City Schools. And as Jeff said, as you were coming in this morning, you could see where it was all rain outside the valley. But as you got closer down into Marcy, where our studios are, clearly there was snowfall overnight. And that's what people out in Rome and up to Adirondack and in Camden are dealing with this morning. So take a little extra time if you're in that area or going through that area. 6:51 at WIBX.
Nescentia Health honors all home care workers in November for National Home Care Month. With compassion, proficiency, and advanced technology, Nescentia Health provides the care you need where you want it most, at home. For exceptional in-home care, ask for Nescentia.
Hi, this is John Calabrese. Is your company looking to hire qualified, dependable employees but unsure of where to look? Let Express Employment Professionals take on the recruitment and hiring process for you. We're a locally owned, full-service staffing firm. We'll help you find your next star employees. Business decisions come down to time and money, and Express can save you both. We take on finding employees for you so you can focus on meeting your business goals. Find us on the web at expressmohawkvalley.com for details on how to get started. Are you looking for a great job? Stop searching. ECR International is hiring for assemblers and maintenance technicians. You could be working for the company that actually helped kickstart the world-famous Boilermaker Road Race. Both of the positions that we're currently hiring for offer excellent pay with a full benefits package. Instead of waking up every day dreading work, wake up and have a fulfilling job working for a great local company. Work for ECR International. To find out more, just call Express Employment at 315-790-5723.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Modern Healthcare ranked Nescentia the number 31 best place to work and third healthiest place to work in the healthcare industry nationwide. We all want to stay in our own homes as we age. Nescentia Health makes that a reality, providing tomorrow's healthcare today.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Well, good morning on a beautiful Thursday. 1 week from today, you'll be smelling the amazing food of Thanksgiving in your home or wherever it is that you're going, or you'll be smelling the amazing food of nachos and wings and that sort of thing. The prelude to Thanksgiving dinner, which would be the Bills game at 12:30. Who else is playing on Thanksgiving Day?
Cowboys Giants. I've never been so excited. Wow. I love Thanksgiving and football.
This is a big New York day.
Yeah, it's big.
Wow.
So I want to mention as well, went right over my head. Oh, you're talking, I can't believe Thanksgiving is only a week away, but you're talking about all the great food and how we're going to enjoy it. Assuming we don't get snowed in, everybody, for the rest of our lives.
Well, there is the potential, right, for this lake effect snow that's causing havoc. Schools using 2-hour delays to save up their snow days. You only get 4 or 5 of those snow days.
Yeah.
So you got to save them. Ann is in Rome, and I the other night when Trump made his announcement, there were people that were up in arms over it. But Ann was moving her arms around, spreading out a banner on her sofa that is Trump 2024. You already have that banner, Ann.
I have 2 of them, and they're 9 foot.
9 feet
that's
long.
That's just the beginning. But I just want to say,
biggest
first,
banners ever.
2 things I want to talk about. Trump, I think if he stays on target, stop with the January 6th, it's over, let's get over it, and stays on what he's done for the country, I think people will come back, and I think he'll get more support because of the condition the country's in right now.
Well, I got to say, though, so far, he's not holding back on the January 6th stuff.
Well, I think the speech that he made the other night, I think he's going to get a lot more kudos on that.
Yeah, okay.
And people are going to say, look, you did a great job. Stay with this, speech that you have. Tell everybody what you did, not what happened in the past, just what you actually accomplished.
Right.
And I think that'll be good. Bill, no matter what you say about him, nothing will ever make me stop listening to your show.
Well, I appreciate it. And what I said to John that John really reacted on is I said I try not to say stuff about Trump because I understand there are a lot of people that are, like you, for instance. I really try to think of
your opinion.
I try to think about you, Ann, when, you have a differing opinion. That doesn't it should not preclude us from being friends, et cetera, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, this world we live in is too short to be like
but
that.
I'm going to give you some good advice for the weather.
Okay.
First of all, our dogs, and put little sweaters on them or jackets, and make sure you put wax on their paws. Anybody who works at a company, I did it one year before I retired. We had 2 big boxes at each entrance of the business.
Okay.
People went through their closets, had beautiful coats and hats and scarves, and we donated them. People loved it. They said, I don't have enough time to bring it to a mission because when we get out of work. So I think that'd be a good idea for companies. Clean out your closets. People change. Their kids get big. They couldn't wear the coats anymore. They had some beautiful coats and hats. Just an idea so that we can, spread it. If you can't afford to buy a new coat for a kid, at least donate something like that. It's a good idea for companies to do.
Okay, Ann. I mean, and by the way, Ann is very much proof that even Trump fans have big hearts. I mean, right?
Goodbye.
All right, Ann. Thank you.
Take care, Ann.
Let me tell you, I felt like Christine the other day. I had a mouse in the house. So, when you get down and see the cat in the basement, which is, where I'm stuck to do my work, I see the cat, just sitting there, staring in under a cabinet.
WIBX.
Davy's answering the phone. And I just knew, all right, there's got to be. And so I lift up, I get the flashlight, and there, sure enough, is a mouse. And the thing is shaking. Because this cat probably has been down there all day. And we have a cat that apparently is like Ann. She doesn't want to kill anybody. Just wants to have fun. She's looking for so this cat will play with it. Just play with it. So I'm like, do I squash it? Then it's going to get all over the carpet. What do I do? So I went out and got our amazing shop vac. And it was like something out of one of those Disney movies where they're the animation.
I'm trying to think of what they were called, the 2 little characters.
I pull it out and I'll turn it on, suck the thing right up into the vacuum cleaner, and then I went outside as close as I could to my neighbor's house, and I just dumped it right out. Dumped it out and saved the life of that mouse.
Chippendale.
Probably living in someone else's basement right now. So, WIBX, Utica, Rome.
Compassionate.
Republicans got their magic number. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, winning their 218th House seat.
It is official. One-party Democrat rule in Washington is finished.
Kevin McCarthy could be the next speaker with a slim Republican majority. How big, we don't know yet, with 6 House races still not decided. McCarthy tells Fox their agenda includes
secure this border, fight to make us energy independent, give parents a say in their kids' education, and actually look what the DOJ is doing.
President Biden reacted in a statement.
Last week's elections demonstrated the strength and resilience of American democracy. I congratulate Leader McCarthy on Republicans winning the House majority, and I'm ready to work with House Republicans to deliver results for working families. Obviously, a new reality for this White House, dealing with a House Speaker that will be a Republican, House majority that will be controlling the gavels of all the relevant committees. We will see what kind of oversight they decide to pursue.
Fox's Mike Emanuel at the Capitol later today. Current House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will discuss her future plans. Democrats will still control the Senate. Congress wants answers about FTX, planning a hearing into the crypto company gone bankrupt. And Fox's Ginny Casolo reports there is also a lawsuit.
Adam Moskowitz is attorney for Edwin Garrison. They are suing Tom Brady, Larry David, and others who promoted now bankrupt crypto exchange FTX. Moskowitz tells Fox News they brought FTX instant credibility.
They're celebrities that made a lot of money and promoted this product.
It's still a mystery in Moscow, Idaho, who killed 4 university students found dead in a home Sunday.
We cannot say that there's no threat to the community. And as we have stated, please stay vigilant, report any suspicious activity, and be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Police Chief James Fry, there are no suspects yet. No murder weapon, which they say was a knife or something sharp or serrated. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, a lot of you know that I learned how to use a firearm when I was 11 years old. I've been practicing my entire life, and people ask me all the time, Hannity, what kind of gun should I get? Well, now I'm telling them, go to Henry Repeating Arms. And I always tell them to start just by going to their website, henryusa.com. You're going to get a free catalog. Now, Henry has over 200 models of rifles and shotguns to choose from. They're made with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen, and you don't beat their performance. Every one I had was accurate right out of the box and reliable ever since. Their company motto is made in America or not made at all. They have a lifetime warranty, family-owned business, and these folks are true patriots who give back to our military, our vets, our first responders, sick kids, you name it. They support gun safety, and they support our Second Amendment. So if you're in the market for a high-quality, American-made firearm, just go to henryusa.com. You get their free catalog, list of dealers, and free decals, henryusa.com. You'll love this company.
Mostly cloudy skies, 32 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. Our top story this morning is the weather, not necessarily what we have right now, but what is coming in the future. A large lake effect snowstorm is on its way to western and northern New York. Right now, the storm is expected to stay north of Utica, Rome, and Herkimer. However, the northern portion of Oneida County is under a lake effect snow warning through 4 a.m. Saturday. The National Weather Service says storm totals will range between 8 and 16 inches. Meanwhile, in southern Oneida County and in Herkimer County, we're under a winter weather advisory that will continue until 2 a.m. on Friday. We are expecting much less snow than the 8 to 16 inches forecast for other parts of the state. Also, New York State is restricting or closing travel for commercial traffic because of the storm, including the Thruway and Interstate 81. That begins at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I-81 exit 33 to the Canadian border. Commercial trucks can only use the right lane. Other news to tell you about this morning. Utica police working to connect the dots after a woman says she was threatened with a gun, then had her home flooded out. Investigators believe the latter may stem from a domestic incident with the woman's ex-boyfriend. They were made aware of the alleged domestic dispute that involved the woman being threatened with a gun by her ex, according to Utica police. She said during the incident she was not only threatened but forced to drive the man to a location in Syracuse, and he then allegedly took her phone to stop her from calling 911. And the next day, the victim learned of significant flood damage to her home. Someone ripped out the pipes from the wall and hot water tank. Utica police say they are still investigating, but so far they have charged 36-year-old Jamar Key Hickman with unlawful imprisonment, menacing, and criminal mischief. They say more charges may be forthcoming. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office making a significant change to the hiring process for deputies in the correctional facility. Instead of a written or oral test, as had been required, Oneida County received state approval for a pilot program to eliminate the standard test, replacing it with a questionnaire called the Training and Experience Exam. The exam is used when civil service has determined that specific education or experience can be a good predictor for success on a certain job. If you meet the minimum qualifications, you can receive a rating based upon evaluation of your training and experience. Full details on our website at WIBX950.com, but we'll also tell you the Oneida County Sheriff's Office hosting a job fair next Tuesday, the 22nd, and the following Monday, the 28th. to get the ball rolling on the application for the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. Illusionist Leon Etienne preparing for some holiday magic in Old Forge. He's performing at the Strand Theater on Thanksgiving weekend. He has 2 shows on Black Friday and 2 more on Saturday. Full details at WIBX950.com. And, Bill, I skipped an important part here. A couple of school delays we have to pass along this morning. Of course, you can get these on our website at WIBX950.com. 2-hour delay for Camden Central Schools, Rome City Schools, and Adirondack. That list is always updated at WIBX950.com. Once again, your Weather Center forecast has a lake effect snowstorm headed to New York State. There is a lake effect snow warning in place for several western and northern New York counties. Right now, that storm expected to stay north of the Utica-Rome area and Herkimer. The National Weather Service says those affected counties could see 8 to 16 inches of snow. And in Utica-Rome, the southern portion of Oneida County and Herkimer County, there is a winter weather advisory in place. That continues until 2 a.m. Friday morning, and we could see a couple inches of snow accumulation and some slippery conditions, but certainly nothing like what is forecast for other parts of the state. Bill, right now, cloudy skies, 32. It's 7:07 at WIBX.
All right, some sports. I can give you, we have a little bit going on, and that's just a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. Last night, the Knicks held off the Denver Nuggets. Final score in Denver. The Knicks 106, the Nuggets 103. Julius Randle scored 34 points and had 11 rebounds as the Knicks were victorious. We mentioned the Cy Young Awards are out in the National League. Miami Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara has won the National League Cy Young Award. The 27-year-old right-hander ranked second in the National League with a 2.28 ERA while winning 14 games. He posted 6 complete games and went at least 8 innings in 14 of his 32 starts while logging in a Major League Baseball high of 228 and 2/3 innings. Over in the American League, Houston Astros ace Justin Verlander has won his 3rd career American League Cy Young Award. 39 years old, earns the honor after leading the American League with 18 wins and a 1.75 ERA in 28 starts over this past season. Tonight is Thursday Night Football, and the fact is, if you don't have Amazon Prime, you can hear the game and see it painted in your mind, the most incredible picture in living color from radio. We'll be carrying the game tonight. It is Tennessee and Green Bay. Let's see if Rodgers has turned the Packers around. Tennessee, Green Bay, Thursday Night Football. It's tonight on WIBX.
Rodgers. So Justin in Herkimer says, we have some great comments here, and I love our audience. They're just so quick on things. It's a delay on my part. John is busting your chops, and it's not about it's not about political. It's not about Trump. John in Rome says, after you did all that to save the mouse, it then ran across the road and was run over by a car.
And I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
And then to the comment.
Well, what was I going to do? You've got the thing in there.
Right.
Do I squish it? Because I'm thinking that's going to get all over the carpet.
Right. You're going to
have
mouse
And
guts
I can't
everywhere.
leave it for the cat, because here's what the stupid cat will do. It'll play with it until the thing's barely alive. And then later in the night when I'm sleeping, it'll come up all proud-like and drop it on my pillow. I don't want that. So I figured the quickest way out was meanwhile, there's a ton I got all the bait and all that stuff in the house. But this thing, apparently not interested in that. Wants to venture out near the cat like an idiot.
Also, if you're struggling with boiling farm fresh eggs, Bill, Justin in Herkimer recommends using an Instapot. He says he does it all the time.
Okay. The thing that my wife does is she drops a little vinegar in the water, and then it makes it a little easier to
peel
them and create what Davey's mother is an expert at, deviled eggs. She's the woman of the year, Davey, your mom.
Thank you very much.
She had some amazing deviled eggs here. Anything else?
No, I thought he brought in the what is it called? The pigs in a blanket with the syrup on them.
He did that too.
No.
It was
She didn't make
it was
them.
the eggs. The hard-boiled eggs, huh? That's
with
cool.
syrup on pigs in a blanket with syrup.
Yeah, the next studio next door to us make it.
Okay, all right. To me, that's French's yellow mustard. They go on pigs in a blanket.
I have never had it with syrup before.
Pigs in a blanket, as in
the little tiny
dough,
hot dogs with
like a little Pillsbury dough around it. You got to put mustard on that.
Wait, were they bacon wrapped little
They
mini
were
wieners?
They're bacon wrapped Smokies. They're little wieners with bacon and brown sugar.
Okay.
Pollywog from the Frog makes them. She makes them beautiful. She does a great job.
All right, yeah. Don't say anything bad about her. She'll cut your tires or something.
She'll be serving you up next week with little bacon and some syrup.
All right,
I'm not going to be here. I'm away. I'm on vacation next week.
He's heading out Thanksgiving week. Davey's going to be gone. All right. Anything else? We good?
No, we're good.
All right. I want to squeeze a few things in here. Heather is with the Utica Food Pantry. Good morning, Heather. Thanks for coming on. I wanted you to give another plug how people can help the food pantry out there and how easy it is to do it.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having me back on again.
Good morning.
Yes. So our 10th, just so everybody's aware, our 10th annual turkey drive is tomorrow at 10 o'clock on the main firehouse on Bleecker Street. And it's first come, and it's a drive up and walk up. And we still need turkeys. We're getting there. We're almost there, and people have been awesome in dropping off. So we still need turkeys, and we're still looking for more monetary donations. So if you do have turkeys you want to donate, you can go right to the main firehouse on Bleecker Street and drop them off there. And if you are still looking to or you want to send a donation, you can send it right to go to uticafoodpantry.org and donate there.
Which is really the easiest way, right? I mean, to go online, make the donation, boom, it's all done.
Yes, absolutely, because we are just the price is out of control right now for turkeys. But yes, the easiest way is to go on uticafoodpantry.org and hit the donate button there, and you can donate right to our website. You can do it right from your phone right now, or also you can just send us it in the mail at P.O. Box 306, Utica Food Pantry at P.O. Box 306, Utica 13503.
I got to say, we were just talking about how, and I mean, this is not a commercial; it's more of a public service. Hannaford, 47 cents a pound for turkeys. Unfortunately, though, it's limit too. So if you already have your turkeys, what a great way! Go over and get them at 47 cents a pound, and deliver them over to the firehouse tomorrow.
Well, it's funny, yes, and some people have come in and said that each person, like in their office, donated $1. So if you had like 20 people, you could all donate a turkey. So it was kind of neat to see people showing up with these turkeys yesterday and how they went about getting them.
And the other thing I wanted to mention that we talked about last week is that you, if you're in need, you guys don't turn anybody away.
No, never.
It's not like we're going to, all right, let me check bring your tax form. We want to see what you're making,
Want a photo of the inside of your refrigerator.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We trust you. If you come in and you are in need and you need help, we will help you fill out like a form, and we take care of you right there on the spot and get you food.
All right. It's a little tough this year. It's going to be tougher than normal, I'm afraid. So, okay, Heather, nice thing you're doing there. Nice job.
All right, thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Taking some other calls here. Cordelia is on the line right now. Good morning, Cordelia in Rome.
Good morning, everybody. I want to talk about Mr. Pence was on CNN, I believe, was last night.
Yeah, it had a town hall last night, right?
Yeah, and every time it was suggested something about Trump, he tiptoed around the whole situation.
He did, but he said a few things that I'll say this. He said a few things that will anger the very strong Trump supporters, I believe.
Oh, yeah, and but I think maybe he's got the idea of wanting to run himself because that's been kind of publicized here and there.
Yeah.
And but I think he'd make a good president if he ever got it, but I doubt it.
Well, it's it's kind of like Biden. I mean, Biden was always the second fiddle. I mean, even before he became vice president, right? How many times did he run for president and just couldn't quite get there? And now he's there, and it's right? Right? I mean, how else do you describe
He
it?
fizzled right out, didn't
Yeah. So, but I wonder if Pence kind of does he have the dynamic personality to, obviously he did a pretty brave thing on January 6th in confirming the elections because he knew he was going to get a lot of criticism.
I know, but he did the right thing, actually, according to the legalization of how they do it.
Right.
But, it's quite a question. Then we got Mr. DeSantis down there just ready to bite and hit the chomp.
Well, he's red hot, right? He came off a huge victory. So, actually, the biggest Republican victory ever in Florida.
Yeah.
So, that's a pretty big deal. Yeah.
So,
All right.
Trump, I don't know. He might have a hard time. He may get it. He may not get it. It's just a world of wonder right now.
All right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, Cordelia.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're going to have some real tough, strong debates coming up.
Oh, I think there will be. Let's see how many candidates there are in. It's going to be very, very interesting. But meanwhile, we're still counting votes from the last election.
Yeah, the other one's still 2 years away.
Yeah. Okay, Cordelia, thank you. You have a wonderful day.
Wait a minute. The last time they had to have 2 different nights of debates because it was so packed.
Right, there were so many candidates, yeah.
Okay, then,
all
guys.
right, good stuff. And Kathy is in Rome also. Hello, Kathy. Good morning.
Good morning. I have to say, we know how President Trump had talked about Pence. Who in the right mind would want to be Trump's second person on the ticket, knowing, we all know
That's an
how
interesting
Trump
point.
is. I certainly, but it came around. I think the combination ticket of Pence and Nikki Haley, I think that would make an excellent.
I think you're right.
couple.
I mean, that would be a heck of a heck of a ticket, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be a good match.
Although many would say, and this would never happen, maybe it should be Haley and Pence. That would obviously never happen. He wouldn't want to be vice president again. But, why shouldn't Nikki Haley be a presidential candidate?
Yes, I think she's quite a outstanding lady. I think she'd do a nice job.
All right, Kathy. You have a wonderful weekend, or wonderful day.
You too.
Sorry,
Bye-bye.
I'm almost. I'm as if it's already Friday. It isn't.
I'm ready for it to be Friday.
There is some news that came yesterday. McCarthy loses 31 votes from his caucus, but will move on to a final contest before the full House in January. He looks to be, I don't know, is it a sure shot as Speaker of the House? John Putner is with Fox News, and he is president of Take Back Action, the Take Back Action Fund. It was a Bush 2000 aide and the only person in U.S. history to run a campaign defeating a majority leader in a primary. John, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So what's your take on this? Is McCarthy a shoo-in?
It is. I think at this point it's just a matter of what concessions he gives to Freedom Caucus. Are they sort of negotiating to get a couple of chairman spots, et cetera? But I can't see any trouble for him in the final vote. I mean, no one's going to team up with Democrats on a vote, so eventually you're going to have at least 218 votes. And with his commanding win yesterday for the nomination, I mean, it will be him in the end.
Go ahead.
Will Trump at all weigh in here? Is there any chance he tries to get somebody's support and says, hey, look, if you don't back me, I'm going to go with this Biggs guy, and we're going to make some noise?
Well, I think after Tuesday it's pretty tough because, I think he was sort of floating Sarah Palin as a speaker, and she got 26% in her vote for Congress. So, I just think with the night he's coming off of, I don't see how he would be able to mount enough support for an alternate turn pick for speaker.
How much of this talk is a bit of wishful thinking? There have been many stories out there that the majority of Republicans in the legislature have been waiting for their moment to kind of walk away from the craziness of Donald Trump. And now, for the very first time after this midterm, they are feeling like they're empowered enough to be able to do it, but they're still getting pushback from the general public, those huge Trump supporters. it is possible that all of a sudden they could learn that Trump has much more power still than they thought he had, and reverse course a little bit. What do you think, or do you feel it's done?
Well, he definitely does. I do think Tuesday probably ultimately cost him the nomination. Not to say it's over and there won't be a big fight, but I think he would have been the nominee if his nominees had done well on Tuesday night. And I don't believe he will be now, but a lot to be played between now and then. But you are right. The big problem you have in any election, you can't lose your base. I mean, that's the first thing you can't do. And you can't go in and you certainly can't sort of just tell off Trump if you're going through a nomination battle or even in a general, because if you really go after him, and you lose 10% of your base, you can't make that up in the middle. And look at how Kemp did it. Kemp never went after him in Georgia. He beat everything Trump threw at him, but he never got nasty at Trump. It
is interesting though, the real lesson out of these midterms. And Democrats should be very, very careful not to be celebrating. I get it. They didn't get the big red wave that they thought they were going to get, but there's no huge endorsement or mandate for Democrats by any means. But for Republicans, the takeaway could very well be that while a Trump candidate can win in a primary, once it gets to the general, Donald Trump is so polarized that he brings out the Democrats and the independents, who may not be all that enthusiastic, but enough so about Trump to come out and vote.
Yeah, no, you're right on. And it is funny with McCarthy, of course. This is related. People always want to blame GOP chairs and caucus leaders, and they come after him. That's what McCarthy's getting a little of. But I've got to do a shout out there. A couple hours west of you. I mean, Nick Langworthy. I've been saying for years he's the best state GOP chair in the country, and to have New York and really California too have good days.
Yeah.
I think what that shows is a state where you're used to having to really fight for every win is much better prepared for a year like this where things weren't going well and fought through them. So glad he's going on to Congress, because from the Buffalo mayor's race through Tuesday, he had quite a tenure there.
Well, and Brandon Williams in the 22nd Congressional District, which encompasses Central New York, including us and Syracuse and Onondaga County. Brandon Williams, the Republican, a first-time politician, first-time candidate. He wins over the established Republican in the primary, and then wins the general. His opponent finally conceded yesterday. Who would have thought New York would be playing a role in this?
Absolutely. New York got it right, really up to 218, and now California's the one trying to add three or four more seats. So who would have thought either of the states? But it was quite a night for New York.
No doubt. John, thanks for your time. We appreciate it. We'll do it again.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great day. It's 7:24. We have some school delays this morning because some of the lake effect snow dipped down into Rome, also into the North Country. We'll talk about that and give you the current list of delays here this morning coming up. Also, we'll do our free money question of the day from Obica, give you a chance to win $106.90. And Alton Brown is Alton Brown, right? Alton Brown.
You better not call him that when Smitty calls him.
Alton Brown.
It's Alton, not Alton.
Is from the Food Network, and he's going to be at the Stanley Theater on Tuesday night and doing a whole entertainment holiday-type show. And I love this guy on the Food Network. And he is coming to town. He is coming on the radio. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to speak to him. 725 at WIBX.
Herkimer County has its feet in the Mohawk Valley and head in the Adirondack Mountains. For a spectacular fall tour, drive north from West Winfield or Richfield Springs through the Mohawk River communities of Herkimer and Little Falls to Dolgeville and Middleville. You will see more and more colors on the country roads around Newport and Poland, topping off with Old Forge in the Adirondacks. New York's tallest county is built for your autumn tour. Herkimer County, I love New York.
Hi, I'm Ray Durso of the Genesis Group. It's time to raise the bar for the Mohawk Valley region, and with your support of the Genesis Group annual appeal, we can help make that happen. The Genesis Group is the Mohawk Valley source for news and information, views and opinions, community projects, and regional events. Genesis believes that our community is ready for new levels of success. We are welcoming new companies and seeing local businesses expanding. Our region is on the rise. During this season of giving, I invite you to support our annual fund appeal. Your financial assistance will help fund programs and events in education, healthcare, community and economic development, and so much more. Our Board of Trustees have all made a contribution. They join me in asking you to do the same. For more information about the Genesis Group and to make your pledge, please visit our website, thegenesisgroup.org. Thank you.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With private healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, you need to call 800-913-7340. That's 800-913-7340. 800-913-7340. Sponsored by EverQuote.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone from Harley-Davidson of Utica and now Power Sports of Utica, formerly DDS Motorsports. We have a large selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. We have BRPs, Can-Am, Skidoo, Lynx, all Kawasaki, CF Moto, and Yamaha watercraft. All on-road and off-road motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, apparel, accessories, parts and service, all under one roof. Central New York's biggest all-season toy store.
Yeah, we're replacing the carpets too, so don't worry about that.
No fresh powder yet, but Dan's Ski Lodge has an avalanche of projects.
Those 4 rooms are getting hot tubs.
He needs a staff engineer to navigate a flurry of new requests.
And all of those will be fully ADA accessible.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Truck crash? Choose William Mattar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. After a crash, an investigation may need to be started immediately, so call now. When you visit WilliamMattar.com, you'll see that motor vehicle accidents are what we do. Truck crash? Call William Mattar, 315-444-4444, South State Street, Syracuse, 315-444-4444.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, coming up in a few minutes, we'll get an update from Jeff. I want to tell you, Adirondack is on a 2-hour delay today. Rome City School District is on a 2-hour delay. Camden Central School District, we have an update. Are you ready? Camden is now closed. So Camden Central closed. Rome is on a 2-hour delay that is, I believe, Adirondack also on a 2-hour delay, but Camden has now closed. Camden, Davie, Camden is now closed.
Yeah, that's in the northern part of the Oneida County. That's the area where they're getting hit.
Yeah.
I just hope I don't get hit where I am.
Well, right now you're in the booth. You're okay. You're safe.
Right.
You're safe in there. Getting home, that's a whole other thing to deal with. Coming up, we'll speak with Mike Burgess. With the United City Police Department and the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. And then Beyond the Eats, Alton Brown from the Food Network live, and they're calling this the holiday variant. And tickets are available at the Stanley website. You can go there. Television personality, author, Food Network, and Netflix star Alton Brown announced that the Alton Brown Live Beyond the Eats, the holiday variant tour, is visiting Utica coming up on Tuesday night. He does all sorts of cool shows. If you watch any of his stuff on, there's Beyond the Eats on the Food Network and all over. Beyond the Eats, Eat Your Science. It's where you can kind of learn why, when you put baking soda in something, why is it important to do that? Or why does yeast rise? Why does the dough rise with yeast? All of these, it takes a scientific approach. He says fans can expect more cooking, more comedy, more music, and more potentially dangerous science stuff with a sprinkle of seasonal spices. Plus, you'll see things that he says I've never been allowed to do on TV. Critics and fans have raved about the interactive components of Brown's shows. He warns, prepare for an evening unlike any other, and if I call for volunteers, think twice. So, pretty excited about that show coming up on Tuesday night. You can go to the Stanley Theater for their website for details. The holiday variant Beyond the Eats with Elton Brown. And that happens. Where is Jeff? Because where is he?
Down in the other room. But
All
if
right.
you need something,
Let me do a break, and then Jeff will do news, and then we'll do the free money question. And then we should have Elton Brown on live here on the radio coming up. Stand by. 7:32 right now at WIBX.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Golfing fans, we're here to tell you about the 80th anniversary membership special at Twin Ponds Golf and Country Club in New York Mills. For only $89 a year with a $10 per year administration fee, get a 2-year anniversary membership at Twin Ponds and enjoy unlimited golf from Monday through Sunday. Contact Twin Ponds today for this special offer before it's over. Get your $89 membership today. Go to twinpondsgolf.net.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Every day at NBT Bank, we focus our business around all the ways we can help yours. We're large enough to offer leading business and digital solutions, but local enough to ensure personalized one-on-one service. So turn to NBT Bank for a full range of business solutions, like capital and treasury management services, even fraud protection, and see how NBT Bank is just the right size to help you do big things. Visit nbtbank.com to learn more and start a conversation. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mostly cloudy skies, 34 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:34. Well, we've been talking about it this morning. A large lake effect snowstorm is on its way to western and northern New York. Right now, the storm is expected to stay north of Utica, Rome, and Herkimer. But northern Oneida County is under a lake effect snow warning through 4 a.m. Saturday. The National Weather Service says storm totals will range between 8 and 16 inches of total accumulation. And here in the southern part of Oneida County and for Herkimer County, we have a winter weather advisory in place until 2 a.m. Friday morning. Snow showers continuing. We'll take a closer look at that forecast, but we want to let everybody know there is some messy weather, messy weather on the way. The messy weather we saw overnight last night caused some delays for local schools. Camden, Rome, and Adirondack all on 2-hour delays this morning. Camden is closed. Thank you. Camden is closed. New York State is closing or restricting travel for commercial traffic because of that large snowstorm, including on the Thruway and Interstate 81. It begins at 4 this afternoon. I-81, exit 33 to the Canadian border. Commercial trucks only allowed to use the right lane. More on that at WIBX950.com. The new acting superintendent of schools in Utica says the Evolve weapons detector system purchased for nearly $4 million over the summer will now have to be replaced. Brian Nolan said during an interview on the Keeler show yesterday that despite what Superintendent Bruce Karam said publicly and to the school board, the security system does not detect knives. He said that the superintendent had maintained the technology would prevent all weapons from entering the school, even though the company clearly stated initially to the district that the system was not designed to detect knives. A Utica man facing charges following a domestic dispute, and police say more charges may be forthcoming. Utica cops trying to connect the dots after a Utica woman was threatened with a gun, then had her home flooded out. Police say in the alleged domestic dispute, the woman said that she was threatened with a gun by her ex-boyfriend and forced to drive him out to a location in Syracuse, where he then took her cell phone to prevent her from calling 911. The next day, the victim learned of significant flood damage to her home, which had been flooded out because someone ripped the pipes from the walls and the hot water tank, causing significant damage. So far, Utica police have charged 36-year-old Jamar Key Hickman with unlawful imprisonment, menacing, and criminal mischief, and they say more charges could be on the way. Illusionist Leon Etienne preparing for some holiday magic in Old Forge coming up in just over a week. He's performing at the Strand Theater on Thanksgiving weekend. 2 shows on Black Friday, 2 more on Saturday. You can get full details at WIBX950.com. House Republicans talking about investigations of the Biden administration as they plan when they take control of the chamber next year. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California, who expects to be elected Speaker of the House, talked about possible investigations on Wednesday, telling Fox News that investigation targets could include the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan and immigrants coming in at the southern border. Soon after McCarthy's interview, GOP Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio and James Comer of Kentucky brought up plans to investigate what they called the politicization. I'm not saying it right, am I? Am I saying it right? Politicization. Can you say
As in politicize.
Yes.
Yep.
Of federal law enforcement and the business affairs of President Biden's son, Hunter. Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, current Speaker, will announce her future plans today. Republicans this week managed to regain control of the House after securing the 218 seats they needed in the midterm elections. A report from Axios says President Biden and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer are both urging the California Democrat to seek her third term as the House Minority Leader. And more than 2,000 Starbucks workers are planning a one-day strike at more than 100 locations today. The union that's organizing stores for the past year says the strike is a protest against what it calls retaliation against union supporters nationwide and the company's alleged refusal to bargain with that union. WIBX News Time 7:39. Again, we've gone over some of the details on this large snowstorm coming. It is a lake effect snowstorm warning. And that's for portions of western and northern New York. At this time, it does include northern Oneida County, but southern Oneida County is only under a winter weather advisory. We have snow showers continuing through the overnight tonight. Could see a little bit more by way of accumulation. For today, cloudy skies with a high of 34. Snow showers likely tonight. Otherwise cloudy with a low of 27. Expecting less than an inch of new snow accumulation overnight tonight. Friday, slight chance of rain and snow showers mixing early in the day. Otherwise, partly sunny with a high of 38 for the afternoon. Friday, partly cloudy. That's Friday night. Partly cloudy with a low around 19. Right now, we have 32 degrees, cloudy skies. It is 7:40. Bill, I'm going nuts here with trying to keep track of what community or what part of what county is under what storm warning.
Could you focus that, too?
It's driving me nuts.
It is crazy. I see. You wrote Ferguson. I see. It's Burgess. Mike Burgess is an investigator with the Oneida City Police Department. He's on the line right now. Each week, we do our Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. And Mike is on the line right now. Mike, good morning.
Morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. Crime Stoppers is a great way for people to get information out to authorities, especially when the fear is that maybe you want to be anonymous. And you can be 100% anonymous, and there might even be a reward, right?
Absolutely. Crime Stoppers offers 3 different ways for individuals to provide information completely anonymously to the police. And if the information that they provide pans out, they can get a cash reward. We actually just had a perfect example of an individual that has been broadcast on this show a few times now, who was wanted and was found in Texas thanks to tips through Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers.
Wow.
So it absolutely works.
All right. Well, who are we looking for this week? What do you have?
This week, we are looking for an individual by the name of Vincent Harris, who's believed to be in the Rome area. And he has 3 pending charges, 2 of which are warrants, and one, I believe, is going to be a warrant that gets issued. 2 of them are for criminal contempt in the 2nd degree, and one of them is for criminal contempt in the 1st degree for violating a order from a court. And I don't have the exact incidents themselves, other than that I know that 2 of them were in October and one was this month in November, right here in the city of Oneida. So we are looking for him to pick him up on these charges.
Okay. There's a complete story up on our website, and if you're watching on YouTube Live, you can see it right there. And again, all the information up on the website at WIBX950.com on how you can get a tip in, or 3 different ways to do it. It's really easy, and as Mike said, 100% anonymous. Okay, Mike Burgess, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. Stay safe out there.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll do our free money question of the day coming up. Also, Elton Brown from the Food Network is coming up on WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton. Here at Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we take the term planning seriously. Estate planning is meant to take the stress out of life's uncertainties, such as illness, disability, and death. Traditional planning is critically important, but some situations require special consideration. For instance, if you're a parent with young children, in a blended family, or in an unmarried relationship, you face unique legal challenges. At Hilton Estate and Elder Law, we can help navigate those challenges. And while planning ahead is very important, if you have a loved one that's currently in a nursing home or extended care facility, it's not too late to act to protect assets against those expenses. Call us today to find out how to use strategies to protect your assets. My team and I can help you sort through any of these legal issues. I'm Rob Hilton, inviting you to call Hilton Estate and Elder Law for a free consultation.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
First News with Keeler in the morning.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?
The Keeler Show. WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. Now back to Keeler.
Okay, so pretty excited about this. Elton Brown from the Food Network is coming to the Stanley Theater. It's the holiday variant, Beyond the Eats. Elton Brown live, November 22nd, at the Stanley Theater at 7:30 p.m. Tickets available right now. And Elton Brown is on the line right now. And good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Great to have you on here. And I'm a fan, and I'm really excited about this.
Well, first off, I'm excited that you're a fan, and second off, we're pretty excited about it too.
So
this is the first time that we've done something like this.
Okay,
We've done touring shows before, and the Beyond the Eats tour played New York City and a few other places last year. But now we've done what we're calling the holiday variant, which is a holidified version of that show, and about 35% all new. And I've been wanting to do a holiday show for a while, so this is groovy for me.
The holiday variant, we love that.
Yes, that's something -19, I think.
We're not going to put any dashes.
Right,
we don't need any numbers right now.
So really cool. I love the stuff that you do. It's very unique, and it gives a. I'm a cook who fails probably most often, but I do all the cooking for the most part in my house. But I'm not good at baking, so you intimidate me because you put it into the realm of science. But I find it incredibly interesting.
That's what baking is, you know.
Yeah.
And baking is no different than any other cooking. It's just a lot less forgiving for people that don't want to play by the rules.
Correct. So, and I'm one of those, put a little bit in here, put a little in here. I never really know the recipe, but I remember it. That does not work when you're baking a cake.
Not so much. I mean, sometimes it'll be tasty, but very often the texture and, other, factors will be a little bit off.
Are you, do you prefer baking or prefer cooking?
Gosh, that's a great question. I guess I'm going to say that just for the sheer emotional joy of it, I'm probably more a cook and less than a baker. I bake because I want the thing that I'm baking. I cook just to cook. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I cook for the fun of it. I bake for the outcome.
It's funny because my daughter loves to bake, hates to cook. I love to cook, really hate to bake, and it fits the personalities, I think, because I am not that rule follower, whereas my daughter follows the rules. So it really fits right in, I think.
Well, I was told once that all women who live with men prefer baking because then at least it's something in their life that does what it's supposed to do.
Okay. I like that. That's really good. That is definitely good. All right, so tell me about the show, what you're going to do up on the stage at the Stanley.
Sure. This is a culinary variety show, and like any good variety show, there's live music. Me and my band are going to do some of our food songs. There's comedy. We have an actual game show stuck right in the middle of the show, a full-on half-hour game show with volunteers as contestants from the audience. And then there is a very large, very unusual culinary demonstration involving a very large machine that we have made that's going to suck all the electricity out of the building and hopefully won't harm anyone, meaning me, while making a lot of really good food. So it is a culinary variety show. If you're interested in food in any way, fashion, or form, odds are you're going to have a good 2.5 hours at the theater.
Well, and it is, it is, my wife and I were just talking about how Buffalo, New York, they really upped their game in the restaurant world. And I'm thinking, I think that most cities have done this, and it is the Food Network that's played a huge role in this. People are at home trying to buy these unique little garnishments to put on the dish that they're making, whether it's for their wife or husband or for a dinner party, that sort of thing. But I think restaurants have done that too. This food world that we're living in right now, everybody's trying to up their game. Do you see that?
Oh, I don't want to say that it's up their game, but let's just say that people are more food-centric, more food-aware, and beverage than probably ever before in history. We have more foods available to us than ever before. We have more exposure to different cuisines that even, I mean, when I first started making my show, Good Eats, back in 1999, by the time we were done making that show just a couple of years ago, there was a whole host of ingredients that we were able to use because they were readily available that we never could have used when the show started because there wasn't really an internet yet. Now you can get great Aleppo chili delivered to your door tomorrow, and as well as thousands of other items that you wouldn't have been able to get. So that's opened up just a huge amount of kind of flavor potential for American cuisine.
Cooking is kind of pretty simple. You for instance, if you're making a good Italian sauce, it always seems to start with your base. That's the base of flavor, right? It's all about flavors.
Well, it's also about tradition. Can you make a spaghetti sauce without starting with onions and carrots and celery and things like that, a mirepoix, as we call it. Sure, you can, but it is expected. And as somebody who's written a lot of recipes is part of my living, trust me, if you call something a pot roast and it doesn't look like a pot roast when it hits the plate, people are upset about it. You know, even if it's made in a pot and includes a roast, you have to be careful about what those expectations are. And I think that's why we have traditions and why those traditions need to be respected.
So I just watched last night, and I found it on YouTube, your holiday standing rib roast. When you come to the Stanley, is there going to be a particular meat that you're focusing on? What will be the emphasis of the program?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Well,
yeah, it's going to be like that. It's not going to be a standing rib roast. That would take a little bit too long. And if I had to do a standing rib roast every night in the theater, we'd go broke halfway through the show. So it's not that.
I actually text the video, the link to the video, to my mother, who hosts Thanksgiving and Christmas for our family. So a tip before for her, other than in the video?
Oh, you mean for that roast?
Yeah. If we are doing a rib roast.
You're going to make her make it. You're not going to do it.
Of course. I watch football.
Follow the recipe. Read the recipe and then follow it. I've worked very hard on that one, and it will very precisely get you to where you're going. And the reason that I'm so careful with recipes like this is because that's an expensive freaking piece of meat. That's typically about $140 piece of cow there. So I don't want people to have issues.
Alton Brown, the Food Network, the holiday variant Beyond the Eats, Alton Brown live, November 22nd at the Stanley Theater. It's going to be a variety show if you love food, and we're all really into food today, it seems. So you lost some weight a while back, but then I was listening to your podcast, and you feel like you may have put it back on. And the diet is the 4 lists. What is that? Because I find that I'm always trying a new diet.
Oh, the 4 lists came out of the idea that the really functioning diet is less about what you can't have and more about what you have to have.
Right.
So my list, which change, I try to focus on, okay, I need to get this much oily fish a week. I need to, or a day, or I need to get this much vegetation a day. I need to get this much fruit in a day, or this many nuts in a day. And then when you get down to the bottom of the list, it's like the thing that only had 1 on it is that when I'm dieting, I only get 1 alcoholic drink a week. That's my problem.
Not good
with that. And then no fast food or processed food whatsoever. That's the only thing that I do not allow myself when I'm dieting. But then I don't eat a lot of processed food anyway. It makes me feel terrible.
The processed food's hard to avoid, right? It's hard to not.
Well, it is if you just stay away from restaurants that have drive-thrus attached to them.
Oh, that's good. That's a very good point.
You'd be surprised how much weight you can lose by simply not going to anything with a drive-thru.
Well,
I hate to say it, but it's true.
It is true. And the other part, my mother's always like, you go to restaurants and they're doing whatever they can to make it taste good, and that's not always good for you. And a lot of times that includes butter and lots of it.
Fat is flavor.
Yeah.
And yes, you'd be surprised how much fat, things like butter, go into restaurant cuisine. Yeah. And I think that one of the reasons that we like restaurants is because that happens where we can't see it and we don't know anything. We like it and go about our business. But I think that people, certainly chefs in major cities where I hang out, are becoming a lot more aware of that situation, and a lot of them are trying to do something about it by using different cooking processes, different ingredients, and trying to not just add a stick of butter to everything.
I want to just talk just a little bit about you, and we won't go on much longer because I'd talk to you for an hour and a half if I could, and that would be very annoying for you, and I apologize in advance.
Let's say annoying for your audience.
I don't think so, but. You mentioned music, so you have a band, and talk about what do you play and what's the band like?
Well, the band is made up of a bunch of people that work for me and my wife, who's my bass player.
Nice.
And I play guitar and sing, and we do food songs. We put out a CD a couple of years ago, and but we've got holiday songs loaded up for this tour.
Okay, I got to tell you. If you're not buying it, if you have not purchased a ticket for this as of yet, you have to. This sounds like it's right up my alley. And I want to play this and then tell me what kind of memories this song brings to you and what your involvement was when it comes to this song. So a little bit of audio.
I have a feeling I know what this is.
You probably do.
The one I've left behind. A simple
All right, enough of that. Obviously, The One I Love by R.E.M. Talk about that song in your life.
That song was really pivotal in my life because I was the director of photography on the video.
Is this
the cinematographer on that video, and it kind of changed my life because my career in filmmaking really took off after that. I was only 25 years old.
Wow.
When we did that, but it led to a career in making television commercials, and then that, of course, led to making food shows. So that's kind of ground zero. Off of Document, the Document LP. Yeah.
Had to be an awesome experience to make that.
None of us
video.
knew that at the time.
Right.
Those of us that lived in Athens, we ran into those guys at the gas station. So it wasn't so much that it was REM, but there was a definite feel in the air at the time that this was going to be a really big breakout album for them that took them to kind of international stardom, which it did.
Yeah, because I do a lot of video work as well. Was it the type of thing where they said, we don't have any money right now, but this is going to be really big, or did they throw a boatload of money at you? Because we've done all the projects.
We did not. No one has ever thrown a boatload of money at me for anything. But things were very different back then. I mean, we shot on film, which seems like a very kind of glamorous thing to be able to do today. The record company, they had enough. They had enough for what we wanted to do, but it was by no means, there was no caviar being served at lunch or anything like that. But we had the tools that we had to have.
I find that after doing video for years, the person that comes to you said, "This is going to be a big hit." You do it, and you'll be a part of the profits. It's like playing the lottery. You never.
That never actually happens.
Yeah, it doesn't ever happen. Yeah.
I just rolled my eyes. You couldn't hear my eyes roll. But I've been on the receiving end of that promise a few too many times in my young life.
Well,
I don't fall for that anymore.
Finally, I just would like to ask you. I learn a lot by watching you. I learn a lot about food and why things work and why ingredients work. I love your shows on the Food Network. Do you have one thing or a couple things that you're most proud of that you taught the audience that we all walked away and a bell went off?
Wow.
Sorry about that question, by the way. Sorry.
That's, I will probably have to go back to something that we did really early. As a matter of fact, in the very, very first year of Good Eats, which is that we did a Thanksgiving special that kind of, at least for television, introduced the idea of brining turkeys or soaking turkeys in a flavored salt solution. And I think that recipe is the thing that more people stop me for and to talk about is that recipe, because it gave a lot of people the confidence, especially young couples who had never done Thanksgiving dinner before, gave them the confidence to try it, to take on the turkey, which is a major thing.
Yeah, it is.
For especially in kind of the family hierarchy, and to be able to kind of break the chain of dry, horrible turkeys, which have been the American tradition for generations. I'd probably say that's probably got to be it. My wife said to me not too long ago that when I died, my only gravestone was going to be a small marble turkey just sitting on the ground, and that would be it. Maybe granite, we don't know, but that turkey.
The holiday variant, Beyond the Eats, Alton Brown, November 22nd at the Stanley Theater. You can call the Stanley for tickets. It's at 7:30 p.m. From music to food and everything in between. This is something you don't want to miss. Alton Brown, thank you so much. Can't wait to
Thanks for having me.
Can't wait to see the show.
Can't wait to do it.
All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Well, how about that?
That was awesome. As you can tell, I'm like a little starstruck there because we watch. You just learn a ton. WIBX, Utica, Rome.
Democrats have lost the House. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have fired Nancy Pelosi.
Now, she'll tell us her future plans later today after Republicans won their 218th House seat with 6 races still undecided, giving the GOP the majority in the next Congress. Kevin McCarthy, who could be the next House Speaker, tells Fox.
We are the only Republican entity that can stop this disastrous Biden agenda.
The president, in a statement, congratulated Republicans and said he'll work with anyone willing to work with him. Democrats will keep control of the Senate with as many as 51 seats if they win next month's runoff in Georgia. In the current Senate, a bill to protect the right to same-sex marriage advanced with some GOP support.
No one in a same-sex marriage should have to worry about whether or not their marriage will be invalidated in the future.
Majority Leader Chuck Schumer noted urgency to codify the Supreme Court precedent in the aftermath of the summer's abortion ruling. A dozen Republicans joined North Carolina's Tom Tillis as it strikes a balance with religious rights.
This is a good compromise. It's one that's based on mutual respect for our fellow Americans.
A final Senate vote could come later this week.
Fox's Jared Halperns. There's still no suspect in an Idaho murder mystery.
Moscow Chief of Police James Fry says officials still believe 4 University of Idaho students killed in an off-campus apartment early Sunday were targeted, calling it an isolated attack.
The 4 were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time.
Explaining there was no sign of forced entry into the residence.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. He told the warden in his last words, "Send me home." Then Stephen Barbie got a lethal injection last night in Texas, hours after another convicted murderer was put to death in Arizona.
Today could be another double execution day. Alabama preparing to end the life of convicted killer Kenneth Smith, hired to kill a preacher's wife, while Oklahoma is ready to lethally inject convicted child killer Richard Fairchild.
That's Fox's Jack Callahan. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, a lot of you know that I learned how to use a firearm when I was 11 years old. I've been practicing my entire life, and people ask me all the time, Hannity, what kind of gun should I get? Well, now I'm telling them, go to Henry Repeating Arms. And I always tell them to start just by going to their website, henryusa.com. You're going to get a free catalog. Now, Henry has over 200 models of rifles and shotguns to choose from. They're made with the finest craftsmanship I've ever seen, and you don't beat their performance. Every one I have was accurate right out of the box and reliable ever since. Their company motto is made in America or not made at all. They have a lifetime warranty, family-owned business, and these folks are true patriots who give back to our military, our vets, our first responders, sick kids, you name it. They support gun safety, and they support our Second Amendment. So if you're in the market for a high-quality American-made firearm, just go to henryusa.com. You get their free catalog, list of dealers, and free decals. henryusa.com. You'll love this company.
We have mostly cloudy skies, a few snowflakes, 33 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaske. WIBX News Time is 8:03. Well, we have some snow coming to New York State or continuing to fall in New York State. A large lake effect snowstorm is on its way to western and northern New York. That includes northern Oneida County, southern Oneida County, has a less serious forecast. We'll get to that coming up in just a few minutes. The new acting superintendent of schools in Utica says the Evolve weapons detector system, purchased for nearly $4 million over the summer, will have to be replaced. Brian Nolan telling Keeler in an interview on Wednesday that despite what Superintendent Bruce Karam said publicly and to the school board, the security system does not detect knives. The board had approved the purchase for the security system after under the belief that all weapons would be detected from entering the school. The Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Most Wanted Person of the Week. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers asking for those to share information on the whereabouts of this week's most wanted person. They're looking for 26-year-old Vincent Harris. He's facing charges that include criminal contempt. Oneida City Police Investigator Sergeant Mike Burgess telling WIBX those charges are in regard to 3 incidents that occurred in October and November of this year in the city of Oneida. You can see a photo of Vincent Harris and see more information on our website at WIBX950.com. A sheriff's office here in central New York making a significant change to their hiring process for deputies in the correctional facility. Oneida County is no longer requiring prospective COs to pass a traditional civil service exam. Instead of a written and oral test as had been required, Oneida County received state approval for a pilot program to replace that test with what they're calling a questionnaire. It's a training and experience exam. The exam is used to determine specific education or experience as a good predictor of success at a particular job. If you meet the minimum qualifications, you receive a rating based on the evaluation of your training and experience. The United County Sheriff's Office hosting a couple of job fairs to get the ball rolling on that process. One is being held Tuesday, November 22nd. Another one Monday, November 28th. Full details and requirements on our website at WIBX950.com. Illusionist Leon Etienne preparing for some holiday magic in Old Forge. He's performing at the Strand Theater on Thanksgiving weekend. 2 shows on Black Friday, 2 more on Saturday. You can also get full details there at WIBX950.com. More on the weather. A large lake effect snowstorm on its way to western and northern New York. Right now, the storm is expected to stay north of Utica, Rome, and Herkimer. However, the northern portion of Oneida County under a lake effect snow warning that continues until 4 a.m. on Saturday. Southern Oneida County and Herkimer County are under a winter weather advisory that continues until 2 a.m. tomorrow. New York State also closing or restricting travel for commercial traffic because of that storm. That includes on the Thruway and Interstate 81, beginning at 4 this afternoon. On I-81 exit 33 to the Canadian border, all trucks must be in the right-hand lane. Your forecast calling for snow showers to continue until about noon today. Then snow showers possibly mixed with rain early afternoon, a high today of 34 degrees. Tonight, snow showers likely, mainly before 2 a.m., an overnight low of 27 degrees, only looking at about an inch of accumulation in southern Oneida County. Friday, slight chance of rain and snow showers. Then a slight chance of rain late in the afternoon. We'll have a high of 38 on Friday. Saturday, mostly sunny and dry with a high of 34. Right now, we have cloudy skies, 32 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:07. Here's Keeler with sports.
All right, so last night, Julius Randle scored 34 points and collected 11 rebounds as the Knicks fended off the Denver Nuggets 106-103. The game was played in high-altitude Denver. They have announced the Cy Young Award winners. Miami Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara has won the National League Cy Young. The 27-year-old right-hander ranked second in the National League with an ERA of 2.28. While winning 14 games, he posted 6 complete games. That's something that's kind of unheard of today, right? 6 complete games. Oh, Bike is in the studio now.
I have PTSD because of listening to you read the sports.
It's funny
It
because
brings me back to when we were calling high school football games.
Okay. All right.
When you wouldn't let anyone else have the mic.
Well,
talk about a control freak.
Well, that was.
Oh my God.
That was kind of by request. I was just, I was reacting to the audience's reaction to you, and I figured a little, less of Joe Habaika is always a little better, right? I mean, I'm just saying.
That's why you've been limiting my appearances on your show.
That is correct. That is correct. You feel you want to do the sports here?
Oh,
you wanna?
no way.
Okay, all right.
You got to stay in your lane, Bill.
Houston Astros, Justin Verlander has won the American League Cy Young Award. What else? A lot of NHL action tonight. The Devils are playing the Maple Leafs. The Islanders travel to the Predators. The Rangers are in Seattle tonight. College football this weekend. There's a lot of action going on tonight. Thursday night, Syracuse plays at 8 o'clock. And the basketball team plays in the afternoon, Northeastern. They play earlier on in the afternoon. And there's somebody from New Hartford on that team, a young lady from New Hartford who's an assistant coach on that Northeastern team.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
I had heard that.
Yeah. Well, we had it on the air here. Bryce Harper needs elbow surgery. The Philadelphia Phillies star is having elbow surgery. He'll undergo on his right elbow next week, according to their team president. The team says a timetable for his return won't be known until the procedure is done. Is there anything else? Oh, a Thursday night football tonight. If you can't watch it on TV, you can always check it out here on the radio. We'll have the game tonight. Otherwise, you got to have Amazon Prime in order to watch the game. So there you have that. Anything else you want me to add?
No, the game's brought to you by Tri-County Heating and Air Conditioning, and we appreciate their support.
Okay, so Hobica is in studio. So wave to the camera, Joe. You're on YouTube Live. Easy to get YouTube
everybody.
up on your TV. You could watch it on your smart TV, on your tablet or your phone. Just search Keeler Live Stream, and it's up there. Also, if you've not, and I'll ask you, have you downloaded, Hobica, have you downloaded the app?
You mean the one for like your
the
phone?
The WIBX app on your phone.
I do have that one.
Yeah, that's a good app. Whenever there's breaking news or anything like that.
Sometimes that's how I listen.
It's the best way to listen. You hit one button and boom, and it'll connect automatically to most cars. So that's the way to go. Joe, we have a lot to talk about with you, and stand by. We'll come back. I want to tell you about River Hills Properties. Once again, we can say they continue to be the fastest-growing real estate company in the area. I know that Andrew, oftentimes, Joe, is doing closings at your place.
Yes.
Andrew Dominio, who's with River Hills Properties. Bill and Robin Monjo wanted to be different, offering up a different experience and services that nobody else services here in the area. That includes they don't use the lockbox. Your listing agent, every time the house is shown, is there to answer questions, to keep an eye on your property for you, et cetera, et cetera. And there's the book, 40 to 160 pages filled with details about the house. Could be used as the manual after the house is purchased. But in terms of selling, it gives you all the information on warranties and everything else, all that information right there at your fingertips when you're trying to figure out, should I or should I not make an offer on this home? But it comes right down to the fact that your listing agent is with you from beginning to the very end. It lowers any stress. It takes the stress away. It allows them to do the work for you to make that process go much easier. I'm telling you, you talk to people who have had their homes sold by River Hills Property, and they will tell you it's different. River Hills Properties, Barnabelle, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Dana Cortez, and I'm married to DJ Automatic. When it comes to big life decisions, having options is something I value for our family, especially when it comes to saving money. That's why I love State Farm.
State Farm knows everyone has a budget, and they've got options like insuring your car and your home, getting you great rates on both, or they can help personalize your policy with options so that you can get a surprisingly great rate.
I love that option. Saving money, that's what it's all about, so we bundle our home and our car. So for surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring, things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Nescentia Health honors all home care workers in November for National Home Care Month. With compassion, proficiency, and advanced technology, Our team provides the care you need where you want it most, at home. For exceptional in-home care, ask for Nessentia. Modern Healthcare ranked Nessentia the number 31 best place to work and third healthiest place to work in the healthcare industry nationwide. We all want to stay in our own homes as we age. Nessentia makes that a reality, providing tomorrow's healthcare today.
Go green and save green right now at City Suburban. There has never been a better way to heat and cool your home than with a new heat pump system from City Suburban. They provide energy-efficient comfort year-round, offer room-by-room temperature control, and are 40% more efficient than conventional systems. And the best part is right now, you can save up to $9,000 in rebates with the New York State Clean Heat Program. Go green and make the switch today. And as always, receive City Suburban POMG. That's peace of mind guaranteed.
This is Chris from City Suburban on Route 233 in Westmoreland. There's never been a better time to upgrade your system than right now. You can save up to $9,000 in rebates, make your home more energy efficient for years to come, and as always, receive our 100% POMG. That's peace of mind guaranteed. Take advantage of this amazing offer. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone from Harley-Davidson of Utica and now Power Sports of Utica, formerly DDS Motorsports. We have a large selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. We have BRPs, Can-Am, Skidoo, Lynx, all Kawasaki, CF Moto, and Yamaha watercraft. All on-road and off-road motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, apparel, accessories, parts and service, all under one roof. Central New York's biggest all-season toy store.
Hey, I want to tell you that with Thanksgiving coming right up and a week away, exactly a week away from today, if you're looking for something different and delicious for lunch, well, they have French cheese that they make a grilled cheese out of, or they make the grilled cheese out of the French cheese. But all sorts of sandwiches and delicious foods over there each and every day, including soups as well at Hemstrad's and artisanal cheese. But the weekends are great because they do what is called the weekender. And you don't have to use it just for the weekend. It could be the Thanksgivinger because it would be great to take to Thanksgiving dinner. Artisanal premium cheeses along with cured meats. They're amazing breads, pastries, and half moons that come all in a package and you take it with you. You can order online or you can pick it up in the store. They're open 7 days a week on Oswego Street, right off the arterial. And, you know, Hemstrad's, the original, made at Hemstrad's, the original half moon, perfect for Thanksgiving dinner as well. Think delicious foods and breads and pastries and half moons. Think Hemstrad's and artisanal cheese located at 900 Oswego Street in Utica, open 7 days a week right off the arterial.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, it's 8:18. Here he is in studio, the man with the plan, Mr. Joe Hobaika. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. So, all right, we're going to just pepper you with some questions. First of all, on the Utica School Board, it is shocking that now this weapons detection device, Evolve, we learned yesterday from the superintendent, acting superintendent, that it's going to be scrapped.
Yeah. I just don't think it fits with our needs and our purpose.
It's when he explained it, it finally makes sense. Because I'm thinking, why would anybody want it? But if you're in an arena, a big arena with 50,000 people, a person with a gun is a massive problem. They could take out 50 people. And to be able to sneak a gun in, you have to stop the gun. You don't want knives either. That's why they search bags. But that doesn't work. That doesn't work in a school setting.
Well, I remember when the system was being explained, they were talking about the fact that they had brought in all types of firearms and I think pieces of firearms or something like that, and this thing had detected them all. And they were referencing weapons, and they said all kinds of weapons were brought through the system while they were testing it. which I think most of us assumed were knives. And then, of course, there was the representation made to us that this particular unit was gonna pick up everything, and that our schools were going to be even more safe.
Yeah.
So,
that's when you guys
as
voted,
most people that anybody that really watches the meetings generally knows that, I used to ask a lot of questions. I just felt that the information that we had been provided with was reliable and that we could go forward with it. So I do feel badly that I didn't think to
But
really
it almost
question
seems
a lot
like
of that stuff.
had you asked a question, the answer that you would have gotten was, "Oh yes, it."
Well, we did get it. I mean,
Right.
We did. I mean, the representation was made, and it was made on the floor, and there's video evidence of it. But again,
hold on a second. What you're talking about is that the superintendent at the time
I'm
said
not.
it
I don't
covers
know
knives.
who are you talking about.
Okay, you're not
'Cause
talking about.
I'm not talking about him.
I
at all.
understand, but I'm saying that.
You can say whatever you want, but
'cause
I'm not saying anything.
I've seen the video.
Here's the reality. There was an interest in getting the kids into school seamlessly and quickly,
Without long lines.
We had, when we
And that
would,
makes sense.
When we would upgrade our security levels, or focus them or hyper focus them, the kids could be standing outside for extended periods of time, and we were receiving a lot of complaints about that. Because the kids don't wear coats to school. Not because they don't have coats, but because, for the most part, they don't choose to bring them.
I don't know what it is with kids in coats.
In shorts in the middle of January. I never was a person like that because I hate the cold. I live here, but I hate the cold. But the reality is that, my answer was wear a coat. We need to protect everybody.
Carmine, how old are you, man? He's filling in for Davey right now.
I'm 23.
Do you wear a coat?
I always wear a coat.
Yeah. Did you wear a coat when you were a kid? Did you no, I don't need a coat?
When I was younger, I would wear a coat, but a lot of times I would wear a light coat.
Light coat, yeah.
Now I'll actually wear a coat.
Now it's like, this is cold. I'm not putting.
Yeah, they're wearing hoodies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I get that, but the reality is, my answer was wear a coat. We need to keep the security level up. I think this whole situation has wrongfully focused on Proctor being this really dangerous place, and it's not.
Well, your acting superintendent addressed that.
It's not a dangerous place. We have a lot of fantastic kids. Okay, we just happen to have unaffiliated community youth groups that
unaffiliated
have
community
beefs with each other. I'm not quite sure what the purpose of these unaffiliated community youth groups are, because it's not like
UCYG. Everything has to be an acronym.
It's not like, somehow they, other than maybe turf and whoever's involved in them, I don't know what their purpose is. Okay,
right.
But it is what it is, and we need to address them as a community. We need to provide some alternatives, some answers. I tried to do something to maybe change things when I first got on the board, because I wanted to do some kind of program in the morning and build, address character and address, that give people a sense of community.
Yeah.
Other than these groups. But
the UCYGs.
Yeah, but it didn't. It unfortunately it met with resistance and then ultimately failed.
I'm going to ask you. Hold on. I'm going to ask you.
Just a quick thing. I feel like some people get lost, as I did yesterday, on the unaffiliated youth community groups. I thought it was like a not-for-profit that was like an after-school program or something like that.
Well, it is an after-school and during-school program.
Right.
It's a lifestyle program, is what it is. And I would say if you call them cliques or factions, people would understand what you're talking about without using that one word.
I just don't understand why you can't call it a gang.
Because again,
well, I'm gonna find that out on Friday when we have the meeting.
So that it is an actual movement to now no longer. Where does this come from? The state? Don't say gang anymore.
I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I'm very puzzled by it.
Yeah.
But I'm puzzled by street corner dealers that sell drugs.
I know.
And get, put into positions where they're going to be taking years of their life and spending it in prison.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And they see all the other people that have done it
In prison.
But what is it that they ended up having to show for it? Like, that does not make sense to me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? I mean, one of the things we're trying, when we're going to be trying to do is when we create the CTE programs that the district is going to provide, we're going to supplement
CTE is
the career technology.
Okay.
Okay?
Vocational stuff.
Yeah. We're going to supplement what BOCES has, because what we want to do is be able to provide our students with the opportunity to come out of high school and get paid $40, $50, $60 an hour.
As a welder with no student loans.
Or,
or whatever.
Yeah, no matter, Micron, Wolfspeed, whatever it happens to be, we want to be able to do that. And part of that is that at some point they're going to be able to figure out that you probably don't need to have some massive felonies or violent felonies on your record, which would prevent you from perhaps being employable. Then the other thing is, and again, this is my beef, I don't like the fact that many of our, and this is apparently contrary to what the deal is, I don't like the fact that many of our kids cannot read on level or cannot read to an extent that they need to in order to be successful. And so we have and of course that's not really apparently the goal anymore. It's all about getting diplomas for people.
Right.
So again, it's just my approach is I think it's important to be able to read and do basic math. And again, I understand that you need that diploma in order to get into the game, but I just think that being able to read is a key.
I am in the middle right now of a movement to no longer call it a speeding ticket, to no longer call them speeders when you're ticketed out on the highway. I would like to be referred to as an accelerated motor skill human being. I have accelerated motor skills. I'm special.
I understand that.
I can maneuver a vehicle like nobody.
That's what that's what I've found out over the years.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Especially when you say, "Okay, the judge said you got to do this mandated course."
Well, I don't want to. I mean, listen, Bill. I don't really like to talk about anything.
Well, I've been good lately. Everything's all good.
Thank goodness.
Yep. I'm going to ask you, what questions do you have? Isn't it amazing though that we can't say that we can't say gangs today?
Oh, Bill, don't say it in my presence.
What are you? It's a gang. They're
no, hold on.
They're
hold on,
shooting up kids.
No, hold on. Because in some cases, and I think this is especially the case in Utica, and I actually saw some of this 20 years ago when I was a young man. You have gangs who are maybe involved in illegal or criminal activity, and then you have gangs in some cases that is, 8 kids on the same block because all their parents had migrated from the same country, and they get picked on in school, and they know together they're stronger than they are alone. And they're not necessarily involved in criminal activity or drug dealing or whatever it might be. So I think that's the reason, because when you say gangs, you think Bloods, Crips,
Look,
MS-13.
I'm not thinking that at all. I mean,
well, a lot of people
Utica,
do.
Maybe they do. I don't know. But and again, I'm probably not being as politically correct as I should be. And for all of those out there that like to criticize me, I am only speaking about my opinion on things and not on behalf of the Utica School Board. What I'm saying is this: I understand all that, I do, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. Other than yes, there's safety in numbers, and these are not the same type of things, the gangs or youth groups or whatever you want to call them, that you see in the movies and stuff like that. It's not. That's not. At least that's been my experience. But I'm going to find out more on Friday when we have our meeting.
All right.
Because
okay.
I'm going to ask, and I'll be happy to come back. The other thing that I wanted to talk about as it relates to that is we have to, when you're out and you go to a restaurant or you go to the grocery store, they're walking, the members are walking amongst us. And you might think they're the nicest kids in the world, and they probably are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that teenage thing when they get together, the more...
Especially boys. I hate to
right.
say it, but especially boys.
The common sense gets checked at the door.
Mm-hmm.
You get that... You get that mentality going. I mean, we had the situation with Sculpture Space. There was a situation that I was aware of that happened in one of the towns. They think they're having fun, and they don't really appreciate what
the situation.
Yeah. And so,
all right. But as many wives out there will say. It takes forever for these guys to grow up. I mean, and there's a lot of truth to that.
I'm still waiting. I'm still
waiting for me or waiting for yourself.
Me.
Okay, good. Fair enough.
I'm not quite an adult.
I'm gonna ask you.
So on this Evolve security system, the acting superintendent, I think, quipped yesterday that he was going to call New York City Mayor Eric Adams and see if he could sell him this Evolve system because he was talking about it for the subway. What happened? Do you guys get a refund?
No. I'm not quite sure, but I have to say that I was actually thinking, who could we sell this to? And I think that there is a purpose for this thing. I do think that there's a use for it.
Of course.
I think that there's a user that it would work with. I do.
I think it would be, to be honest with you, I think there's a use for it entering a high school football game where you have 5,000 people.
We did actually use it, and very successfully with our first night game, and I think it was 8 or 10 years.
Okay. Yeah.
And it worked out very well, and but the kids were behaved, and they really enjoyed it, and we're going to do it again. A couple of them next year.
It's crazy that a night game all of a sudden became a big deal because they couldn't do night games because of the potential violence.
Yeah, and it really wasn't our students.
Right. I understand.
Okay, that's the thing. But okay, so this is my 5th month as president of the school board in my 5th year. And I think overall, in spite of some of these bumps, I think that things are moving in a very positive direction. Again, I invite you to come and if to the meetings. I invite you to watch them on the live stream. You can find them on our new website. And, you'll see many of our students. We had a group of 5th graders that came in. They created a food pantry for their classmates and schoolmates whose families couldn't afford to feed them on the weekends. And we have some great kids. We have our environmental club. I mean, they are doing all kinds of things. They're very thoughtful. We just had the soccer team, which won the TVL championship. So we said, anybody want to say anything? They're all kind of hemming and hawing. We take a bunch of pictures with them. Next thing you know, this kid walks up, boom, delivers this beautiful speech.
And this is at this board meeting.
This was at our last board meeting.
Yeah.
And we have our student representative on the board is insightful, bright, has demonstrating critical thinking, asks questions.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that, at least from my perspective, that's what I wanted to accomplish. I want the kids to come to the meetings, and that's shared actually by the board members now, and we're bringing it out, and it's just great when the kids come in, and that's and actually just they're
Well, this
act like themselves, and
it's sad when a story like this.
That's what the frustrating thing.
It is frustrating because everybody picked up this story. It was on Fox News. It was on the New York Post had the story.
Right.
And it's very easy to say, look at this inner city school or this medium city school and how dangerous it is to go to school. Our schools are failing our children. But ultimately, 99.9% of the kids in that school were doing great things. Can we bump Jeff Manasso?
Yes.
Could you handle it? 'Cause you don't know what to do there.
We're changing.
But I think
we're changing the culture.
Okay.
And,
All right.
And we've started it already.
All right. So what I'm going to say to you is hang tight. Earlier this morning, first of all, I have somebody asking, why is the superintendent, Bruce Karam, on paid administrative leave? What is the investigation about?
I am not able to speak about anything related to the individual that you referred to.
Okay. All right. With that said, we did not fit in, because we talked to Alton Brown, who's coming to the Stanley Theater. We did not do our free money question. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice to give away your money while you're sitting right here? Right?
Sure.
So why don't we do a free money question with Hobica in the room, and it's your chance to win $106.90 with Joe sitting right here, ready to give the money away. $106.90. We'll take caller number. Are you good with 3 in there, Carmine?
Yep.
Caller 3 we're going with. Caller number 3, your chance to win $106.90 from the Hobica Law Firm as he sits right here. And we'll do it, caller 3, when we come right back at WIBX.
Herkimer County has its feet in the Mohawk Valley and head in the Adirondack Mountains. For a spectacular fall tour, drive north from West Winfield or Richfield Springs through the Mohawk River communities of Herkimer and Little Falls to Dolgeville and Middleville. You will see more and more colors on the country roads around Newport and Poland, topping off with Old Forge in the Adirondacks. New York's tallest county is built for your autumn tour. Herkimer County, I love New York.
Each store independently owned and operated and not part of a chain or cooperative buying group.
You don't need to drive all around. Just come to Seneca and Valley, best prices in town. Save on every bottle, every case, every day. Our 40-mile price match backs you all the way.
It's here! Seneca and Valley's annual Thanksgiving wine sale. All wine cases are 20% off. Mix and match. Gobble up the savings with Josh Cabernet, just $11.99 a bottle. Apothic Red is a super buy at just $8.99. Cupcake, all regular type wines are just $7.99. Only $4.99 after mail-in rebate. Take it easy this holiday season with Relax Riesling, just $8.79 for the 750-milliliter bottle. And our staff favorite, Bogle Chardonnay, is now just $8.79. We are excited to debut our 24 mini bottle wine advent gift set. Available while supplies last. Hurry, sale ends Thanksgiving Day. Only at Seneca Wine and Liquor in New Hartford and Valley Wine and Liquor in Herkimer.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. When you need to talk Medicare, Walgreens is here. Start shopping today at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone from Harley-Davidson of Utica and now Power Sports of Utica, formerly DDS Motorsports. We have a large selection of Harley-Davidson motorcycles. We have BRPs, Can-Am, Skidoo, Lynx, all Kawasaki, CF Moto, and Yamaha watercraft. All on-road and off-road motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, watercraft, snowmobiles, apparel, accessories, parts, and service, all under one roof. Central New York's biggest all-season toy store.
If you are considering apartment living, you should explore Pounder Hall in Oriskany. Enjoy affordable apartment living in an elegant setting with social events, year-round activities, 3 meals per day, housekeeping services, and daily transportation. If you're ready or just thinking about the advantage of no more maintenance, taxes, and the responsibility of home ownership, but still want to live life to its fullest, Pounder Hall is here for you. The doors to the Eastern Star campus are always open to you and your family. For details, call 315-736-1759.
Ricky Z and everybody at Steve Honey Mazda are ready to take care of you. They've been winning awards. Mazda's been winning awards. Performance, safety, reliability. Even Joe, is it one of your children has a
yes
has a Mazda from Steve Honey Mazda. Increasingly loyal following of drivers enjoying Mazda's incredible engineering. Mazda's premium design, fit, and finish and paint process is extraordinary. And while Mazda's premium interior redefines luxury, so does customer service. At Steve Honey Mazda, they're number 1 in the nation for customer service, customer satisfaction. So as Rick always says, come in, let's make your deal on a Mazda. See why it's always easy to do business with a family-owned and operated Steve Honey Mazda. Located on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. I love my CX-9 and Steve Honey Mazda. Ricky Z, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I should also say the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Chuck Sedella, Daylight Donuts. Chuck is not the official coffee.
I was going to say, Chuck's
it's a very good
going
point.
to take issue with you.
He's the purveyor of
He is the purveyor of the great Seattle's best. Great coffee, but also for Thanksgiving dinner, if you've not had his dinner rolls,
the snowflake rolls.
The snowflake rolls. Oh, you got to order them too.
I know.
I'm signing up today for mine, and you just go in on Thanksgiving Day. They're open till like 1 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. Go through the drive-through, and away you go.
It's just my opinion, but
melt in your mouth.
They are the best.
They're very, very good. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, lightning fast drive-through.
John in Bridgewater says, of course, Keeler would love snowflake rolls.
Oh, that's right. Every time you mention, and we'll talk
That's
politics
funny.
in a second, but every time you mention snowflakes this morning, there's a few snowflakes out there.
Yes. Is that what? But I didn't mean it that way.
I know.
I put it in the air.
But it sounds that way. Dominic is back in to taking another shot at our free money question of the day. Dominic in Burlington Flats, good morning.
Morning.
How you doing? You ready to go, Dominic?
I'm ready.
All right. Well, I hope you're doing what we told you could do with Joe Habaika sitting here in the studio. Look into the camera, Joe. Are you?
I'm honored to be on at the same time as him.
Are you ready? Here is your question. If you answer it correctly, it's $106.90. What color tie is Joe wearing right now? Ready? Go.
How's blue?
Are you sure that's your answer?
Yes.
All right, you're clearly not watching on YouTube. I have the shot on Joe right now. If you were watching on YouTube live, you would realize he is not wearing a tie today.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, listen, next time when you call in, I guarantee you there's going to be a choice for you, an opportunity for you. If you're watching on YouTube live, the question might have something to do with the video shot. And if you're watching, you'll automatically get it. But listen, you win around here. We're going to give you a table for 6 at Fat Cats Comedy Club every weekend, shows Friday and Saturday night. We're going to give you also the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun Card. $25 gift card, good at Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, and all Adirondack Bank Center concession stands as well. Really cool. And Carmine's going to hook you up there, Dominic.
Okay, thank you.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Good
Good
luck
luck
out
next
there.
time, Dominic. You really know how to
the
drive
shot-
my blood pressure up.
The
I have
shot
to tell you.
was right there. All they had to say was he's not wearing a tie.
Yet.
Yeah. Yet.
Yet.
Okay. We were talking about diets, and I have gone strict on mine. Since Saturday, I've been failing all summer long. Every day that, you know when my diet starts? Tomorrow. That seems to be, in the morning I do well. In the afternoon I do well. By nighttime I've bombed. But I am on a roll. I realize it's only been since Saturday, but I am on a roll. There's
Jelly
bread
roll or Tootsie Roll?
There's bread in the studio right now. I haven't touched it, although I will say that last night before the Broadway Utica show, we went to Modus.
Mm-hmm.
That is Francis's restaurant, the old Oneida National. I got to tell you something. When you sit in there, that place is so beautiful.
He knows how to.
Wait. The one right across from the Stanley?
Yeah.
Well, that's not Modus, is it? It's something else. The old bank?
Yeah. What is it?
No, it's not Modus.
It's not Modus.
It's,
it isn't? What is Modus? Okay, look it up. I might be doing that. This is.
Why can't I think of the
I'm
new
in
restaurant?
Francis's restaurant.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about, but
either way, that place is gorgeous.
Yeah,
and they were able to take and design it around the original bank setting. And
I used to
it's
do my
just-
banking there.
I did too. That was I think the main branch.
Yeah, it was
of
great
Oneida
branch.
National.
They had great tellers.
Huge, and it has the Iroquois Indians up on the wall,
Yep.
which is incredible. Anyway, last night they made the most amazing ravioli in a cream sauce.
Oh wow! Did you eat it?
It was, listen to this. It was sweet corn ravioli. So the sweet corn wasn't in the ravioli sauce. The sweet corn was in the raviolis.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And you've been perfect since.
I will say, I did take a little quarter of a bite just to see what it tasted like.
Oh, I bet.
And that was it. That's all I had. Other than that, I stayed right on my diet.
That's why
I had
don't
muscles.
like diets, just because of that.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to ask you, Hobika's in studio. It's the first time you've been in a long time.
Nostro? Was it
Nostro?
Nostro? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
That's it.
Is Modus a restaurant? Is that
Yes.
is that a
Yes.
competitor? That's funny. Sorry about that. Modus is very nice also.
Yes, it is.
But
And they do a lot of.
But Nostro's is. It's. I feel like I'm in New York City at a restaurant, and all I'm saying is that ravioli with sweet corn. Oh my God. How I was able to not.
I'm hungry.
How I was able to not eat that.
Oh, you didn't eat it?
I didn't. I had a little tiny little bite just to see what it tasted like.
The pasta's all carbs.
I mean, even that little bite probably was 7 carbs, but I was way under in my carb counting yesterday. So
You know, if you only eat the broken pieces off of stuff,
is that
it
right?
doesn't
That's
really
okay.
count as
Okay. That includes candy bars and everything, doesn't it? All right.
You have to eat the entire thing in order for it to count.
All right, I have just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to be. I've got John Decker, and he is actually traveling overseas right now with the president. Okay, you were recently a part of the lawsuit.
Yeah, I was sued.
And you were sued.
By
Explain.
Steve Piacentino.
So, what was that about? And by the way, the judge just booted that baby out of court.
Yeah, it was a frivolous lawsuit as far as I'm concerned. I think the judge. I think that's the way he kind of came down on it. It had to do with the meeting of the Oneida County Republican Committee. I'm not quite sure why they named individuals since they
Why were you named in it?
Yeah, are you
well,
not even?
listen, they had, I'm the boogeyman. You know that. I'm
But
the
you
boogeyman.
were the city chair. You're leaving that position.
I left the position because
you're still named
I
in the
have
lawsuit.
more. Well, again, they named more than just me. But
yes, that's true.
But the reality is that it failed miserably, much like most of the attempts.
Well,
that they make.
that's kind of that constitutional caucus, right? The Jim Zecca group.
The Con Caucus, the Caucasian Caucus, whatever you want to call
They've
it.
they've been very successful in the recent election.
I mean, listen, Brandon Williams got elected, and they were supporters of his, and
I wouldn't give them Brandon Williams. I
Oh
wouldn't.
no! There was a Republican tidal wave in the area, and he was able to, eke out the victory over Cannoli. I think. Well, okay, and anyway, I think that there was a diminution of the number of votes cast for him because of their
You think
their
that because
support.
of their support, people backed
Yeah.
away from it? I mean, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people thought Brandon Williams was like way out there. Like this,
well, listen,
this far crazy,
100%,
yeah,
100%.
And I
But
think
now He's been elected. Now he works for all of us.
And I got to
now
tell you,
we
Joe,
are going to find out.
You're right.
Now we are going to find out
who Brandon Williams
whether
really
or not
is.
he's going to go down to Washington and bay at the moon, or he's going to go down there and do business.
Fair
now,
enough. Okay.
the people that have been successful in as representatives of our area, Bowler, Richard Hanna.
Yeah.
They operated, did business, did what they needed to do in order to accomplish the greater good. Okay.
We interviewed him again yesterday. I've talked to him 3 or 4 times since, really, we didn't speak to him until about a week before the election, right?
I think it was the Monday before.
It was.
And then we talked to him
and I'm
Tuesday.
very impressed. I think he's an independent thinker, and he is conservative. There's no doubt about it. But he's a smart guy. I'm very, very optimistic.
I'm not a big fan of the conservative liberal.
I want somebody to vote. I want somebody to vote for our district.
That's my thing. Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's a cop out when you go down that road.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you need to. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't think you just need to be a rubber stamp on one side or the other. I think you have to evaluate the issue and then decide how you want to do it and what benefit it is going to confer on the greatest part of your district. Now, I
Okay.
wouldn't take that job as a congressperson for all the tea in China because the day after you
Tough
win,
job, yeah.
you have to run again. But
You're fundraising every day. I mean,
but the reality is, he can be successful. He's bright enough to be successful. The question is he going to stay glued to the, having to make the fringe element like the Constitutional Caucus, happy, or is he going to decide that he needs to represent the entire district?
Yep. Okay.
And do
he
something?
might end up living here. By the way, we thought we were going to lose the seat. He's going to move up here. He doesn't have to. He's going to move up here. He might end up living here. I have John Decker on right now. Anybody?
Okay.
Any other further comments? Everybody good? Joe is not wearing a tie. That was the answer to the free money question. We did not give away more of your money. I thought we would. Either way, John Decker standing by on the line right now. John, good morning.
Or good evening. I'm still in Bali, Indonesia. I fly back tomorrow. I was with President Biden, as you know, all week for the G20 summit. President Biden has arrived back thanks to Air Force One. I fly back out tomorrow. But it was a momentous week, starting off with that President Biden meeting lasting over 3.5 hours. I attended the press conference afterwards. And look, I think that to a certain extent, if the relationship on a scale of 1 to 10 was a 3 before their meeting, I think it's a 3.5 now. So a little bit of progress maybe was made during the course of that meeting.
Well, that's interesting. So you would say some improvement.
Some improvement. Anytime you're talking, communicating with a competitor, with an adversary, I think that's a good thing. Communication's important. Former President Trump also felt the same thing, and with Kim Jong-un, and I think the same thing can be said for Xi Jinping. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see where this relationship goes.
Yeah, I think you have to be cautious with any trust that you have, and my guess is that the Chinese feel the same way about Biden.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
absolutely. Considering the fact that Biden 4 separate times said that the U.S. would defend Taiwan if it's attacked by China, and 4 times the White House had to walk back that statement. So they're a little bit confused about where Joe Biden is coming from on this particular issue regarding the future of Taiwan.
What else? What else have you taken away from your trip? And by the way, I thought you'd get to ride as part of the press corps on Air Force One, or is that a lottery situation, or how does that work?
It's a rotation.
Okay.
So
All
there are 13 press seats on Air Force One, and there's certain seats in which those news organizations are always on Air Force One.
Okay.
Associated Press, Reuters, a New York Times photo person, AP photo person, Reuters photo person, and an AFP photo person. And then everyone else out of those 13 seats is done through a rotation, so I'm not in the
Okay.
rotation, and I have to wait a day later to fly back. But
Fair
for
enough.
me, don't pity me. I'm in Bali, Indonesia, so not bad.
I seem to see a picture of a beach that might have been a pretty attractive place to go. I'm just saying. Not bad.
Just saying, yeah.
John, I want
Not
to ask
bad,
you
not bad.
with your legal degree, you are the only one in the White House press corps who is an attorney. What are your thoughts on the Biden plan to forgive student loans up to potentially $20,000? And now it's hit another hurdle. I'm reading reports today where this thing is probably dead in the water. What do you think?
I agree. I never thought the president had the power vested in his power of the presidency to do what he did. And I think that as this moves up the federal court system, perhaps all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, I think the president will also hit a roadblock there. This was done more than anything, I think, out of political calculations, more so than whether or not the president felt that he had the legal authority to do what he did in forgiving those student loans.
It's funny. They had everything set up. People are signing up. Then it gets the challenge. Pause. Now it looks like things are going to get back up and rolling again, and another pause. And you have to think that going to the Supreme Court, this is a conservative Supreme Court. I would think this would be a tough road to this current Supreme Court, I would assume.
I assume that too. We'll see where this goes. But to a certain extent, it's an issue in which President Biden got what he wanted, which was, I believe, he got some energy from youth voters. On this particular issue, there were other issues, including overturning of Roe versus Wade back in late June. But this issue did matter to a lot of young people, and I think that it helped him out in the midterms. After all, look, this wasn't the only reason, but they've held on to the Senate. They've kept their losses to a bare minimum in the House of Representatives. So, that's, I think, one of the reasons why on this trip, why President Biden really did have a bounce to his step. I think he feels emboldened because of what happened during the midterm.
Quickly, if you listen to the pundits, not just on the left or the center, but those on the right, they seem to be moving away from Donald Trump. Can they survive this move from the biggest political figure in the Republican Party right now?
Well, he is the leader of the party, and it's voters who choose the nominees, not pundits. And the person who has the inside track to be the Republican nominee is Donald J. Trump. And I think it helps him quite a bit when you hear some of the people who will be jumping into the race for the Republican nomination. The more that more challengers that Donald Trump has in this race for the Republican nomination, the better for him.
Yeah,
they
I agree.
split the anti-Trump vote, and it's going to be a repeat, I think, the way things look right now of what happened in 2016 when he was the plurality voter candidate. He got the plurality of the votes because, you have a significant number of people who are still in the race splitting the vote. Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, and this election cycle, it might be, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence splitting the vote. And let's not forget about Ron DeSantis. So it's going to be an interesting race for the Republican nomination.
Safe travels, John. Thanks, as always, for coming on, and have a great evening.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
John
Bye-bye.
Decker is the chief White House correspondent for Gray TV. Hey, I have to say there are some benefits out there right now that National Grid is offering. If you're looking to upgrade your heating system or even your hot water heater, high efficiency boiler, furnace, or tankless water heater, right now there's a lot of money out there. You could save $1,000 on a new boiler, $900 on a new furnace, get $250 on a new tankless water heater. Collis has all of the details for you, but this incentive from National Grid ends on December 9th. So it's just around the corner. Call today. They'll walk you through the entire program and help you fix or get rid of that old and outdated boiler system that you have or hot water heater. Again, there's a lot of money out there, but it's going to go away on December 9th. Contact Collis today at 315-381-8982 for details.
At AmeriQ Credit Union, we believe real connections matter, today more than ever. Whether it's connecting you to the right solutions to achieve your goals, new technology to make banking easier, or a real person to help you succeed, we'll be here. In person, online, or anywhere in between. Creating meaningful connections that make you feel like you belong.